To October as NL Central Division champions. Now the New York Mets await their turn, trying to make it as a wild card going through the Brewers this weekend. Wild card standings, a virtual three-way tie. The Mets and Braves would be in right now. The Diamondbacks would be out. Still a few games left to play to decide it all. Alongside Hall of Famer John Smoltz, I'm Wayne Randazzo. And John, what a year it's been for the division champion Brewers.
Nobody saw this year coming. And it was a pretty smooth year when you think about their dominance in the Central. This has been a fantastic year, a great job. They're a tough team to play against. They run, they bullpen, they defend. I would not want to play the Milwaukee Brewers in the postseason.
Well, 92 wins. The Brewers have won the Central for the third time in 4 years. They'll be a tough out in October. The Mets, they're just trying to make sure they get in.
Yeah, they've done a great job. If you told them that they could be in this position after the first 2 months, sign them up, right? Look at the last 99 games. They control their destiny. They know they need to win tonight, win at least one to guarantee a Monday that matters, and the Mets have done all the things they need to do in the second half to be in position.
Yeah, it's certainly a big one for the Mets tonight. For more on tonight's game, we send it down to the third member of our crew. Here's Ken Rosenthal.
Wayne, Francisco Lindor DHing tonight. Missed a week and a half with lower back pain. The Mets don't want him going back-to-back at shortstop just yet. Francisco Alvarez left last night's game with back spasms. He was moving around really well earlier today. He is not in the starting lineup, but is available. Hit several long home runs during batting practice. And finally, the Brewers' Sal Frelick crashed into a wall playing right field last night. No fracture, no ligament damage, but he has a contusion on the muscle that protects his pelvis. He was unable to put weight on his leg earlier today, and it's unclear whether he'll be available for the wild card round. Guys?
Well, certainly the Brewers hoping to have Frelick back at some point as soon as possible. Meanwhile, here's a guy the Mets have been without for the last week. Francisco Lindor going through those back problems, returned yesterday, and he's back in there as the designated hitter today. Jose Iglesias, what a spark plug he's been for New York. So has Mark Vientos, Nimmo, and Alonso, some veterans to rely on in the middle of the order for the Mets here tonight. Brewers will go with an opener to start. It's Jared Koenig.
Well, he's going to throw across his body and kind of sling some stuff up there, about 96 with movement, good breaking ball and changeup. And really, for the Mets, they know they're going to face a right-hander after this. They have to win the battle early to create pressure on Milwaukee and stay ahead of them, because they are tough when they got the lead.
It will likely be Tobias Myers as the bulk inning guy for the Brewers here today, as Lindor stands in to start it off. And Koenig, who's been an opener a handful of times this year, delivers a first pitch strike to Lindor, who was on track to be a 30-30 guy this year. He's still a few steals away. With his back issues, seems likely he won't get there, as he grounds one just foul down the line.
Well, Lindor playing through some pain, trying to get through the end of the season, because he has had such an incredible second half. Really kind of carried the Mets and himself in the MVP conversation. And right now he's trying to not even think about that back pain and try to execute for his team with 4 games left.
Yeah, 4 for the Mets, 2 for just about everybody else except for Atlanta. The Mets and Braves will likely have to play each other at least once on Monday, and possibly twice to make up for the rainouts earlier in the week. Lindor swings through a good changeup from Koenig, and that's how the game starts here tonight.
Well, you're going to see this kind of lane that he throws across his body. He's got that 2-seam fastball that he'll run up there, and then you saw the changeup right there off of it. Not a high percentage of the changeup, but he's tough on left-handers. You can imagine when you see that kind of arc coming at a left-hander thrown across his body, he creates that illusion.
Here is Jose Iglesias as he takes a strike. It's an 18-game hitting streak for Iglesias, which has tied his career highs, hitting .340 in 81 games. Sort of a journeyman middle infielder. Now he's a pop star and a spark plug for the Mets.
Well, this is a guy that has confidence in his mechanics. He doesn't mind hitting with 2 strikes. He puts the ball in play, does all the little things. Not going to wow you with power, but he's comfortable with 2 strikes. He doesn't overswing, and his manager loves what he's been doing for him.
Koenig's ahead of him 0-2, and that's the first pitch out of the strike zone so far from Koenig. Like a lot of these Brewers, Jared Koenig just came out of nowhere. He was 27 when he made his affiliated pro debut with the Oakland A's a few years ago. Don't see too many guys, John, at 27 get their first taste of even minor league baseball and then end up in the majors.
No, you don't. And his stuff, of course, with everybody not, especially in this Milwaukee Brewer team, you're not going to see too many pitchers. Obviously not him face the lineup more than once, 2 times in the.
Iglesias pushes one through in the perfect spot. He has another hit, a career-high 19-game hitting streak, and the Mets have their first hit of the ball game.
So what the Brewers are looking to do in the postseason, depending on who they match up with, this young man will play in this same role if they face, let's just say, the Arizona Diamondbacks and a lot of their left-handed hitters. But if they face the Braves or the Mets, then this scenario will not probably play out because they'll go with their right-handed starters majority of that time. Obviously about 2 times through the lineup is the max most guys are going to go.
And certainly Freddie Peralta will pitch the opener of the wild card series for the Brewers. Sounds like Frankie Montas would pitch game 2 and possibly Aaron Savali game 3. Well, the Brewers are still making those decisions. They have a few days to do so before Tuesday morning. Mark Vientos at the plate for New York. As he gets behind 0-2, Vientos has hit 27 home runs in his first full year in the major leagues. He's homered in back-to-back games, including the one here last night.
This guy's had an unbelievable breakout season and loves the ball middle in. So if you make a mistake on that inner part of the plate, he's going to hurt you against a left-handed pitcher.
That strike 3 call to Vientos was a cutter that wrapped over the outside corner. And 2 strikeouts in this first inning for Koenig.
Well, he stayed away, and that's really what you have to do against Vientos. And he makes that backdoor cutter look like a ball the entire time. He's releasing the pitch. Even though he's pitching off the third base side of the rubber, he is throwing and landing where a pitcher would be pitching off the first base side of the rubber.
The batter is Brandon Nimmo as he takes ball 1. Nimmo's hitting cleanup. Normally that's Pete Alonso's spot. Alonso's in the 5th hole in the order today. Carlos Mendoza said before the game he'd love to see Nimmo and Alonso really help carry this offense through the end of the regular season, into the postseason, and beyond.
So you can see right there, even though your screen is not perfectly lined up, we're at an angle from that center field. He looks like he's coming behind the left-hander when he releases that, throwing way across his body. So left-handers are going to have their issues when they face this big, burly left-handed pitcher for the Brewers.
That's why the Brewers have drummed up the idea of having him as a possible opener in the playoffs against a left-handed hitting team that's heavy at the top of the order like the Diamondbacks would be.
Now there's the batter's perspective. Can you imagine if he was on the first base side of the rubber? He would literally be throwing behind Nimmo.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Nimmo. What's the advantage then for him to be over on the third base side?
It's just the angle of where he's facing most right-handers. He can let that 2-seamer work in the lane away to right-handers and then bury it in. So it's just where he's comfortable in his delivery and hitting the one side of the plate. And that's why they're choosing to use him on the third base side of the rubber. 2-seam fastball.
And they'll choose up another one, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brandon Nimmo. He's 22 home runs this year, 2 shy of a career high.
And because he throws so far across his body, that probably opens up the zone a little bit more for him for his visual. If he was over on the first base side of the rubber, he truly would be looking behind the left-handed batter.
Nimmo with an awkward swing. We've seen a lot of sinkers and cutters from Koenig here in the first.
There you see the matchups, and that would particularly be the case where left-handers should struggle a little bit more against him.
1-2-2. Nimmo takes ball 3, and now Iglesias will get a head start off of first. There's Alonso hoping for a chance against the left-hander in this first inning. Nimmo hits it hard, but Adames sprawls out and makes the catch to end the inning. Jared Koenig puts up a 0, opening it up for Milwaukee in the first.
That ball is crushed.
You know,
this was crushed. Google Cloud AI knows a ball going 440 feet with a 107-foot peak would be a homer by the river, but not by the pool. It wouldn't make a dent in the crown, but it would get lost in the forest, ding the Big Apple,
He bruised the fruit.
soar past the slide, and even hop the train. Catch the game like never before with Google Cloud AI.
The UPS store is more than just a shipping store. We're the packet, ship it, guarantee it store. We know running a small business takes a lot of grit. So we're the We've Got Your Back store. Because when you trust us to pack it and ship it, we guarantee it, so it'll get into the hands of your customers safely. Which is why we're the Stand By Our Work guaranteed store. Visit the upsstore.com/save and get 20% off print services today.
Another health insurance commercial, another aqua aerobics scene.
Yep, most health insurance companies see us all the same. Smiley seniors, golfing, hiking.
Don't forget antiquing.
That's why I chose Humana.
They see me, not a stereotypical senior.
I'm pre-diabetic, so I talked one-on-one with the Humana health educator who really helped me. Now I'm taking free cooking and meditation classes.
Not aqua aerobics.
Better care begins with listening. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Getting a fresh deal at Subway has never been easier. Just buy any footlong in the app, get another free. The only hard part is telling Travis he doesn't get the second footlong.
Wait, seriously?
I got you next time, buddy. Order now in the Subway app.
Brewers lined up no Frelick and no Terang tonight. Jackson Chourio is in the leadoff spot with Garrett Mitchell behind him. Then Contreras and Adames. Rhys Hoskins at the grand slam last night in the first inning off Sean Manaea. Tonight, a guy who hasn't given up a run all September, Jose Quintana, starting for New York.
He has been huge, and he's the definition of a pitcher in today's game that is relying so much on stuff. You see his record. He's kept the ball in the ballpark. He moves the ball around. Doesn't throw a ton of strikes until he has to, and that's the one thing he recognizes. He's facing a dangerous team. There's the breakdown of his pitches. You can't rely on any one. That's what makes him also tough to figure out.
This is the first pitcher that Jackson Chourio ever faced in the big leagues, Jose Quintana. Chourio made his major league debut opening day against the Mets. Quintana was the opening day starter, and what a year it has turned into for Chourio at just 20 years old, becoming the youngest player to notch a 2020 year in the big leagues. And he's on to start things off here tonight. A leadoff single for Chourio.
Well, I talked about the Mets have to win the battle early, and this crowd obviously knows where their team's going, and Milwaukee is playing as if they want to continue their mojo going into the postseason. They will only have a day off after the season ends. For New York, the pressure obviously is on them to you don't have to play perfect. You just have to win battles. You have to slow the game down as if this obviously is a postseason game. Win each battle, win each inning, and then you can head to Atlanta in a better place than when you left it.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Mets are hoping, to make those two games in Atlanta mean as little as possible, perhaps to the point where they don't even have to play at least one of them, if not both. A lot would have to go right over the next couple of days to avoid that trip. Whereas the Brewers are probably thinking, just take your time, guys, figure it out, and we'll see you Tuesday.
No, they want chaos. The Brewers want the Mets and the Braves to be exhausted, and knowing they're going to possibly face one of them if it were to work out. I mean, they still could face the Arizona Diamondbacks. Padres are the only sure thing in the National League as far as the wild card goes.
San Diego has clinched the first wild card. They're playing Arizona tonight. They'll start in about 45 minutes in Arizona, whereas the Braves are playing the Royals. They're just getting started tonight as well in Atlanta.
Now, this is the element that the Brewers are going to cause headaches for pitchers who cannot hold the runners on. They love to steal bases.
Well, they've stolen the second most in all of baseball this year, and they've stolen at a very high rate. They've stolen 83% of their tries this year, 214 stolen bases as a team.
And what it does, besides the obvious stealing the bases, what it does is it creates pressure on the pitcher to face the batter at the plate. The batter's going to get better pitches.
And there he goes on cue. Throw to second after a swing and a miss. Skips by Acuna into center field. Chourio takes off. As the umpire at second base, Junior Valentine, pointed at Acuna, I believe, as there was some contact between Acuna and Chourio at second base, but it is a steal, the 22nd of the year for Chourio after Mitchell struck out.
Well, with the hitter swinging, it's to keep the catcher back as long as possible. But what an arm! If he comes up with that ball, which is short hop, he probably would have been out. And then right there, I thought the umpire issued interference. And if he would have kept running, I think would have been awarded third base.
William Contreras taps one foul as Chourio was making his move toward third base. Acuna was kind of in the way there. And no words from either manager, Pat Murphy in the Brewer dugout and Carlos Mendoza on the New York side. So man in scoring position for Milwaukee, and it's Chourio with William Contreras at the plate. Quintana gets ahead 0-2.
I think I'm right with this because he stopped. That eliminates the interference. If he would have kept going, even if he got thrown out at third, the signal there, interference, meant it detoured his path to the base, and they would have awarded it.
No balls and 2 strikes. Contreras takes ball 1. I wonder if the umpire kind of making that point stopped Chourio because it looked like he was about to take off. When he saw the umpire pointing, he stopped. Second base umpire is Junior Valentine tonight. But the Brewers wreaking havoc on the bases. They stole 5 times yesterday and already 1 in the first inning today. Swing and a miss by Contreras. Good changeup from Quintana.
What's interesting about Quintana and to talk about his success is he doesn't get a ton of swing and miss. But this pitch right here just fades away out of his zone. And he gets a big strikeout with the man on second, nobody out, now 1 out.
So it brings up Willie Adames, the shortstop for the Brewers, has had a remarkable year. He's hit 32 home runs and he has 111 RBIs. He's only the second everyday shortstop in the National League to have 30 homers and 100 RBIs. You have to go all the way back to Mr. Cup, Ernie Banks, as the only other shortstop that's been able to do that in the National League.
Well, what's shocking to me when I start diving in, looking at, we look at numbers all the time when we get ready for this game, he's not handled left-handed pitching well at all.
2 balls, no strikes on Adames. Jose Quintana trying to work out of some trouble here in the first. A single, a stolen base. He's had back-to-back strikeouts, though. Gets a fastball by Adames there. The lefty goes up and in.
Majority of the pitches are going to be away, but he can go in and work both sides of the plate. A veteran pitcher that knows how to read the hitter's swing and adjust accordingly.
2 balls and 1 strike on Adames. And the changeup had him way out in front. Actually, curveball there, and it's 2-2.
Well, that's the pitch that has given him problems against left-handers. Has been the curveball. Good break to that pitch. Looked like it was in the zone against the breaking ball. He's only hitting 161 as Adames off of left-handers this year.
Brewers scored 4 in the first last night. Quintana trying to shut them down in the first inning today. And Adames hammers one out toward left center. Bader moves over, makes the catch on the run to win the inning. Brewers got a man at second. They leave him there. No score after 1.
Sorry, honey. It's a work thing.
Mine's also a work thing. I just need someone to cover my shift.
So is mine. Alan says your business vehicle is now covered with Progressive.
Protected 24/7, just like your home and auto.
Oh, that's great.
So dinner time's just phone time now?
Sorry. You know, I heard that ground turkey is the healthiest poultry.
You know what? Never mind. Just be on your phone.
Thank you.
Big boss, man.
This is Belichick. Talk to me.
Double B.
Tyrese.
What's good with these whiteouts?
He's going to get in the end zone, no doubt about that.
My man. William, answer the phone.
Billy B, my man.
Cam.
How's QB1 looking?
It's looking more like QB3. Bryson, again?
Coach, it's urgent. Will he score a touchdown?
Yeah. That was easy. Still got it.
You make the call on Underdog.
At Fisher Investments, we may look like other money managers, but we're different.
You can't be that different.
We are. We have a team of specialists not only in investing, but also in financial and estate planning and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, and as a fiduciary, we always put their interests first.
But you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, we have a simple management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Huh, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
There is nothing like a Wendy's Frosty. It's cool, it's creamy, it's only $1 right now. Wait, what? The one and only Frosty is $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Check these out, Harry. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. You just step in and they're on.
I must be dreaming.
No, mate, they're real.
Well, if I'm not dreaming, why is Snoop Dogg here?
I got a show at the stadium tonight.
Ah, that makes sense.
No hands-free with Skechers slip-ins.
Tonight's telecast sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Cars, homes, boats, motorcycles, RVs, and more. Right through Milwaukee here in Wisconsin. Beautiful downtown area, and the Brewers, a division champion. Tobias Myers was part of the reason why. 25 starts this year. Coming literally out of nowhere, Tobias Myers had a very nice season for the Brewers.
He did. You're going to see a very unique delivery in how he gets straight over the top with his fastball. It's not electrically 96, but top of the zone, tough for the hitters to hit. He's going to have to be a little bit better with his secondary stuff to get through this Mets lineup. And speaking of the Mets lineup, Alonso's timing of getting hot would be starting right now, because he can carry a ball club, and he's had a decent year. But look to see what he does in these next 4 games.
We all remember what he did in his rookie year in 2019. Today's actually the 5-year anniversary of Alonso hitting his 53rd home run to break Aaron Judge's rookie record that season. As John said, it's been a good year for Alonso, but not a great one. 34 home runs. He's driven in 88. He has struck out a lot, 168 times this year, but still his home run total 5th most in the National League for the impending free agent Alonso. A big swing at the slider for Myers.
Now, if he can get that tilt on the slider, that'll help them stay off of the fastball, right? The fastball is going to come in, and if it's at the top of the zone, it has play. If it's down, the hitters should square it up.
Alonso hits this one softly. Adames surrounds it, sets his feet, throws high, and throws it away. It went into the dugout area, so Alonso will end up at second base as Willy Adames fired it over the head of the first baseman Hoskins.
Well, if Adames had to do this over again, not that he forgot who was running, but Alonso not the most fleet of foot, and this ball just sails on him. And a collision with the bag, trying to get down for Alonso.
Trying to get down, get out of the way. He did touch it on the way by, which could have been important had that ball not sailed into the dugout. The 20th error this year for Adames, as Alonso ends up at second base.
These are the situations in a regular season game. They don't play as big if you don't get the run with a man on second, nobody out.
Oh no.
But in this situation where the Mets are, it's essential that they get the runner in with the man on second, nobody out.
Yeah, this is a regular season game in name only. I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is playoff baseball for New York.
It is.
Starling Marte at the plate with the count, no balls and 2 strikes. A pitch timer violation called on Myers. Well, the Mets need to win as many times as possible in their next 4 games. 2 more here with the Brewers, including tonight, 2 in Atlanta Monday. And this 3-way tie will result in 2 wild card teams. Marte hits it right to the third baseman Ortiz. 1 out with Alonso still at second base.
Good base running there by the Alonso. Ball's hit hard. It's to his right as he's facing home plate, and you've got to make sure the ball gets through. And he does exactly that to stay from getting doubled off.
the meantime, Marte fails to move the runner over, hit the ball to the pole side, and he keeps Alonso at second. Here's Luis Torrens, who looks at a strike. Torrens has certainly solidified the Mets catching position behind Alvarez. Not the offensive player Alvarez is, though. He lifts this one to shallow right field. Coming in, Churrio makes the catch. Alonso pretty far off second, but Churrio never saw him. And Alonso able to dive back in without a throw.
Yeah, if Churrio comes up with this right away, he's probably got a good chance at doubling off Alonso. This ball's hit off the end of the bat. He's trying to read it. You get a totally different read and angle when you're at second base. And Thomas is like, what are you doing? Throw me the ball.
Could have been an inning-ending double play. Instead, 2 outs and Alonso still at second base. Of course, it was Adames' error that put Alonso on to begin with to start this inning. Harrison Bader hasn't hit much against right-handed pitching, 4 for his last 44. He does have a career high in RBIs, and the Mets could use one, as Bader put a good swing on that.
After seeing that pitch right there and the hitter going after it, go a little bit higher if you want with 2 strikes.
Went high but also away, and Bader didn't go after it. 1-2.
Whenever you get a swing above the zone, and especially if it's fouled off, you just have to throw that pitch over the middle up. There's not much many hitters can do with that.
Just missed the outside corner with the slider. 2-2 now on Bader. Swing and a miss on the slider for strike 3. Well, Myers works around the leadoff error. Mets don't score in the second.
This thing's in the middle of nowhere, and even if we didn't get any closer, you'd still know. It's a Jeep Grand Cherokee. The same way you know you can keep the concert going, even after the encore. Or take the whole family anywhere in it. Because when you're an original, there's only one.
Right now, get $6,000 bonus cash allowance or get 0% financing on 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland and Summit models. See your local Jeep brand dealer today.
Join us this Saturday and Sunday. Jersey Mike's is donating 20% of sales to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
Oh, in a factory, there was a glove, a tougher kind of glove, like you never did see. Now the cloth is strong, stronger than the flames in the heart, and the heart's in the work does the life where we're safe at home. Oh.
JP Morgan Chase invests in manufacturing to help create stronger communities.
Make the green grass grow all around, make the green grass grow all around.
They need their lawn back fast. And you need Scott's Turf Builder Rapid Grass. It grows grass 2 times faster than just seed the lawn. Giving you a stronger lawn. Smell that freedom, eh?
Download the My Lawn app today for lawn care tips and customized plans.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
Everyone is raving about the best origin movie ever made.
Come on! We could have built the future together.
I don't think so. Transformers 1, now playing. Rated PG.
Okay, Limu, you said it. Then as I spike it, I'll tell them how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so they only pay for what they need. Got it? Did you get that? Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's scoreless in the bottom of the second here at American Family Field as Rhys Hoskins leads off for Milwaukee. And what a crushing blow from the Brewers first baseman last night in the first inning off Sean Manaea. He had a grand slam in the bottom of the first. Ball, 1 strike on Hoskins, who's hit 26 home runs, but batting .215 on the year. Sitting around 5th or 6th in the order a lot for Pat Murphy's team. He grounds this one toward Acuna, boots it, grabs it, throws it in time to get Hoskins.
This ball eats him up, just rides right up, but because Hoskins not the most fleet of foot, he was able to throw him out. Quintana very appreciative of it.
One out, the batter Gary Sanchez, who also homered yesterday. He's the designated hitter today. Sanchez, of course, the former Yankee catcher. He did have a brief moment with the Mets as well last year. Very brief, played in 3 games for the New York Mets. He's provided some assistance to Contreras as a catcher. He's DH'd quite a bit as well. Sees Hoskins and Sanchez batting back to back. You know, without Yelich, these are the 2 veterans now in their lineup on what is a very inexperienced group of Brewers that has still been able to win 92 games this year.
Yeah, it's been a group that is growing in confidence, but really lacking, as you talked about, that veteran presence.
Sanchez wipes out on the changeup, and that's 2 up, 2 down here in the 2nd.
And it's a group that relies on its whole roster. So you got to get some guys hot at the right time. You got to get on base to do the things they do well. And he is definitely, if not the front runner, the manager of the year for the National League. Nobody, not one expert, predicted them to win the division, yet alone be in the playoffs.
So you probably have the 2 leading candidates for manager of the year in the National League in this series between Murphy and Mendoza. But the Brewers, well, people were writing them off because they lost the previous manager, Craig Counsell, to the Cubs. Corbin Burns was traded. A lot of injuries to their stars that were remaining. And yet here they are. They had a fairly easy commute to the playoffs too. No one else in the National League Central really tested them.
No, they really didn't. And I think they have not lost more than 3 in a row all year, which tells you the quality of games they play. And again, out of spring training, your roster sometimes believes the speech of your manager. And that speech sometimes is, hey, why not us? We could be, you know, you got to really believe in the process, because you look around the room and you see who you have and you see who you're going up against, and they really bought in. I mean, they subtracted, they got rid of, they cut payroll. It was all pointing in the wrong direction to predict that they would literally be in this spot. So give them a lot of credit.
They were the first team to clinch. That had never happened before in Brewers history. The count runs full on Isaac Collins getting a start in the outfield with Frelick unavailable today. The Brewers certainly deserve all the credit and then some, and they can do as much as anyone in the National League in a season where there are really no standout teams. Well, the Brewers might lack star power, but as you said, they play the game cohesively. They have a young athletic group. They catch the ball, they steal bases, they have a great bullpen.
Well, these are the things that are going to drive you crazy if you're playing against them. Infield hits, stolen bases, and just getting on base. So they do those things. They are going to make it very difficult on whoever they play if they continue those kind of trends and just play Brewer baseball.
3-2 the count on Collins, who has 1 major league hit so far. Bidding for another up the middle. Acuna diving stop. His throw too late, and there's yet another infield hit for this group of speedy Brewers. Their 221st of the year comes off the bat of Isaac Collins.
Well, they play in kind of a hitter's paradise. If you think about hitters coming here loving to hit, but they are doing these kind of things that really keep them away from slumping, right? Swing and miss, long balls, it's sexy, it's nice, it's what wins for most ball clubs, but in this new era with different rules and no shift and the base is bigger and all the different things, it entices the athletic roster to compete with the big boys, and that's exactly what Milwaukee can do. Their payroll may maybe 1/5 of the team they might play, but it doesn't matter because the roster is very athletic and can do so many things.
Should be an interesting start to the postseason here on Tuesday. The Brewers open up the wild card series. All 3 of those potential games will be played here in Milwaukee against the 3rd wild card team. Right now, that's the Mets. So it could be a rematch here starting on Tuesday night as the Mets hope to get in. The Braves and the Diamondbacks also have a say in what happens with the end of this wild card race. There's a strike to Joey Ortiz playing third base today.
Well, this young man just keeps getting a little bit better and better, and based on the trends of the organization, more than likely he's going to be the shortstop of the future next year. He's playing third, but he'll be a shortstop.
Willie Adames, a free agent after the year is over. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With the year Adames has had, well, probably a big payday coming to him, so that would open up the door for someone like Ortiz to take over that position in-house for Milwaukee. Swing and a miss by Ortiz on the curve from Quintana. He has 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. No score after 2. We'll hear from Mets manager Carlos Mendoza with Ken Rosenthal in just a moment.
The NFL, Sunday on Fox. Check for the game in your area.
Our community has seen riots and vicious attacks on law enforcement. Career politicians like Peter Barca stand with groups that call us occupying soldiers, threaten to slash our budgets. He supported sanctuary cities, creating safe havens for illegal, violent criminals, sidelining the police, putting our lives at risk. Barca even supports open borders that would allow dangerous individuals into our country. Peter Barca can't be trusted to keep Wisconsin safe.
I'm Brian Stile, and I approve this message because I will always stand with law enforcement.
Dutch Boy, it's only paint. It's only paint that comes in an award-winning twist and pour container. It's only paint that can cover the brightest shade of orange known to mankind in just 1 coat. It's only paint that will inspire you to write your masterpiece. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where one day you'll meet this guy who starred in that thing. So yeah, it's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life both professionally and romantically. Dutch Boy Paint.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere. It's Chevy truck season. Qualified lessees can get this well-equipped 2024 Silverado LT for around $449 a month. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Fox 6, your election headquarters, because you matter.
Back here in Milwaukee with Mets manager Carlos Mendoza. Carlos, Jose Quintana pitching for the first time in 10 days. How do you see him so far?
Good, you know, and this is a guy that's been in this league for a long time and had a really good career. You know, he knows what it takes to prepare, and especially in this case where he was off for almost a week, you know, but he knew he was going to pitch a big game, and here he is, you know, doing what he does, pitching. So,
as a manager, how do you weigh the need to win tonight against the reality that you might need to play 2 games Monday?
Yeah, you have to concentrate on today's game, and we got to do what we need to do today to get the job done, and then worry about tomorrow, and then whatever happens going into Monday, so be it, but we have to do whatever it takes to win today.
Carlos, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Carlos Mendoza, the manager of the Mets, trying to get his team into the postseason as a first-year manager in the big leagues. Longtime bench coach for the Yankees, certainly knows the New York market, and he has been up to the job as the manager of the Mets.
Boy, did he get tested early. Oh, were they bad? Had some bad breaks. Just things didn't go their way. First 2 months did not play great baseball. And then all of a sudden, what's the mascot that turned it around? The
Grimace.
Grimace. You never know what it takes, right? And they just haven't looked back, really.
Even have a purple seat now at Citi Field to honor Grimace and his contributions, although some would say that it was a team meeting called by Francisco Lindor in late May that helped turn things around, as the Mets felt like they had enough talent to not be where they were, which was 11 games under 500, and Lindor helped change the tune. That's also around the time he moved into the leadoff spot. And we'll follow Acuna here in the third.
And I know it didn't show up recently, but their pitching staff had really come together really nicely and it formulated a real good rotation. And they rode that along with some timely hitting and winning some games unorthodox, which what you've got to do to get in the postseason.
Count goes full on Luis Angel Acuna, who was called up really to provide some relief for Lindor after the back injury occurred. Acuna, the younger brother of the Braves MVP Ronald Acuna Jr., has held his own so far. Said the other day he's got Acuna's the name on his back, but he looks a little bit more like Ozzie Albies than he does Acuna.
Yeah.
Still a full count as Acuna works along at bat with Myers. The Mets with the best record in baseball over the last 99 games. As Acuna fouls the one off, we welcome our entire national television audience here tonight to American Family Field in Milwaukee, where the Mets and Brewers play what is an enormous game for the Mets, part of a virtual three-way tie in the National League wild card picture with Atlanta and Arizona. And Acuna strikes out against Myers to end a long at bat. Second strikeout for Myers, and there's the picture right now. The Mets and Braves are even. Arizona's played 2 more games and they have 88 wins. The Mets and Braves have a magic number of 3 over the Diamondbacks because both teams hold the tiebreaker over Arizona. So it seems like right now the hill is a little bit steeper for the Diamondbacks. That could change today. Lindor hits a ground ball right at Monasterio, the second baseman. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, you can look at it obviously a couple ways. In the bad break with the games not being played in Atlanta leads you to be up some balloons up in the air, right? If you're Arizona, even speaking, you could not know your fate before the season's over, waiting to see what happens on Monday. So many things, so many scenarios, but each team knows if they take care of business and win, they can, at least the Mets and Braves, control their own destiny.
Those teams are playing tonight. Atlanta trails at home against Kansas City 1-0 as they play in the bottom of the third. San Diego's in Arizona and they'll start in a little bit. Strike to Jose Iglesias. Seth Lugo was starting for the Royals but only pitched 2 innings in that game. As Iglesias loops one towards center. It's Mitchell right there to put the squeeze on it. A 1-2-3 third for Tobias Myers.
Smile, you found it. The feeling of finding psoriasis can't filter out the real you. So go ahead, live unfiltered with the one and only Sotyktu, a once daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis and the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding you're so ready for your close-up, or finding you don't have to hide your skin, just your background. Once daily Sotyktu was proven better, getting more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. There's only one Sotyktu, so ask for it by name. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
Inez, let me ask you. You're using Head & Shoulders, right?
Only when I see flakes. Then I switch back to my regular shampoo.
You should use it every wash. Otherwise, the flakes will come back.
He's right, you know.
Is that Tiny Troy?
The ingredients in Head & Shoulders keep the microbes that cause flakes that big.
Microbes, really?
They're always on your scalp. But good news, there's no itchiness, dryness, or flakes down here.
I love Tiny Troy and his tiny, gorgeous hair.
Make every wash count.
And for stubborn dandruff, try Head & Shoulders Clinical Strength.
What's the order?
50-cent boneless wings?
50-cent boneless wings on 2. Ready? Break.
Hey, Brock.
50-cent boneless wings every day, only at Applebee's.
Today, let's paint with Behr, America's most trusted paint brand.
Wait, we don't have Behr.
Well, with Behr, you can paint a whole room for under $100. How much did you spend?
More?
I thought you said you researched this.
Don't overpay for your next project. Get Behr quality at an everyday low price, only at the Home Depot.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
Mets and Brewers scoreless here in the third inning. We're here with Brewers manager Pat Murphy. Pat, since clinching, what has been your message to the team about the need to sustain momentum going into the playoffs?
No doubt about it. You know, you have to play the game a certain way, and you can't back off. You know, you can't coast uphill. You know what I mean? So there's no coasting. We've got an uphill battle. We got to maintain the level we're playing with the same intensity. That's how we play. And there's no taking time off. You know, that's the way it is.
The way your pitching lines up tonight, knowing the wild card series starts Tuesday, how important is it to get your high leverage relievers into this game?
Yeah, it seems like the right time, just because you want to give them at least a day off, maybe 2, to be as fresh as possible. And they're going to get work. Those 3 games in a row, they're going to get work. So why not give them 2 days? So tonight would be the night you'd see those guys.
Pat, thanks a lot. Guys, back to you.
That would mean Payamps and Devin Williams at the end of this game, potentially for Milwaukee, as Monasterio takes a called second strike from Jose Quintana. Well, this Brewers team is really young, and they are learning on the job in some ways at the major league level, still winning its division, still at 92 wins, and hosting the wild card series this week. As Monasterio takes ball 3, but you know, I thought you asked a great question to Pat Murphy earlier about what it's like for this young team, and also talking about what you and the 91 Braves went through as a young team on the stage in the playoffs.
Yeah, there's so much you're going to find out about your roster and your future and benefit from it, right? There's going to be some out-of-body experiences from some young players, but that's good. You got to experience it.
Andrew Monasterio punches one, and Alonso smothers it for the out.
The postseason's not for everybody, but you can learn to be part of the postseason and have that heartbeat slow down, because it's going to be sped up. And they've checked every box this year, and they've exceeded every opportunity they've been given. And now, why not, right? They got the why not attitude going into the postseason. And if everybody does a little bit what they are accustomed to doing, they're going to be a tough out in the postseason.
I mean, 91 that everyone talks about worst to first, and the Braves were able to go all the way to the World Series. You're pitching Game 7 of the World Series. You're young. It's your first time in the postseason. What is the adrenaline like in those moments when the stage gets really big?
Well, it's unbelievable, and you cannot approach it like afraid to fail. There's a lot of players who are afraid to fail, and they have to learn to get over that and get outside their comfort zone, because, you know, again, we're all wired differently emotionally and personalities, and it doesn't always fit in that one box that you'd like to put everybody. I personally loved it. I wanted it so much that I did it as a kid all the time, trying to be in every big game situation. And that's not a guarantee for success, but if you don't have that mindset, I don't see how you give yourself a better chance to be successful. And then once you've been there, done it, you use that experience for your benefit.
Jackson Churio couldn't hold his swing. That's strike 3. And Quintana doesn't normally strike a lot of hitters out, has fanned 5 2 2/3 innings so far.
He has been on his game the last, 4 starts, especially in this month. You can keep the ball in the ballpark in today's style of baseball, and you throw just enough strikes, man, you are putting your team in a good spot.
There's Garrett Mitchell. He couldn't hold his swing either, and it's 0-1. You heard Ken mention it when he Asked Carlos Mendoza about it, but Quintana hasn't pitched in 10 days. How much does maybe skipping a turn, not necessarily that they did, the weather impacted it, but how much does that extra time this late in the season help a pitcher?
Well, for him, I'd say it helps him more than a hard thrower, a guy who relies on velocity. He's going to be more at a disadvantage having those 10 days off. This guy's a pitcher. He's a rhythm guy. So that's not really going to throw him off too much because he doesn't rely on that high octane.
1-2 strikes on Mitchell. Unlike most of the Brewers, Quintana has plenty of postseason experience. See his last time out all the way back to September 18th when he faced Washington and worked 7 scoreless innings. He has not given up a run yet in the month of September. Quintana's made 5 postseason appearances in his career, 4 starts. He's on the 2017 Cubs that went to the NLCS, and he was a wild card starter for the Cardinals a couple of years ago. Struck out Garrett Mitchell in the first inning, has him 1-2 here. That just missed to make it 2-2.
Well, that's the beauty of just pitching. He can put pressure on the hitters and the umpires by moving the ball around. He's got the sneaky, quick 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And what I mean by that, everything looks polished in his delivery, and then all of a sudden the ball gets on the hitter.
That's in there for strike 3. So Quintana gets the call on the edge. Mitchell goes down looking, and Quintana has 6 strikeouts in 3 innings.
Homes.com is a new, elevated home shopping experience. Beautiful design, tremendously rich content, and my favorite touch, it's the only site that always connects you to the listing agent. Feels like a work of art.
Lovely. What about the app?
Uh-oh! Look what I did. It's ringing. Hello? Hello? Hello?
They can't hear you.
Hello?
Because you glued a frame over the microphone.
I think I've glued the frame over the microphone.
Ding dong!
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
We love this house. It really has it all.
Yeah, but our neighbor, he's a little opinionated.
Next on Golf Dad.
Steer-rank 1!
I think I'll make me a big salad.
Steer-rank 2!
At least Geico makes it easy to bundle our home and car insurance.
Strike 3!
What are you talking about? That's a cute shirt. You need glasses, pal.
That's it. You're out of here.
For bundling made easy, get more with Geico.
He's done this to me before.
You know he's looking to steal second. Google Cloud AI knows that a 10-foot lead with a sprint speed of 28 feet per second means an 80% chance he swipes the bag.
There he goes again.
And when a team's mascot has wings, they just so happen to get 0.4 more steals per game.
The man can absolutely fly.
Yeah, he's flying. Catch the game like never before with Google Cloud AI.
Thanks. What'd you get? Oh, I got another double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double hot, double calf, double sleeve. Hey, did you know that Discover doubles your cash back at the end of the first year? You are cut off.
You earn, we match.
Debbie.
Unlimited cashback match.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen dough made from 6 simple ingredients. And our dough can save you dough. Get 2 or more Papa Pairings favorites for just $6.99 each. Order now on the app from Papa John's.
Tonight's telecast sponsored by Homes.com. We've done your homework. The division winners of the National League, the Phillies in the East, the Dodgers in the West. The Brewers have taken home the Central for the 3rd time in 4 years. It's the Dodgers who will be the 1 seed. After the Phillies lost earlier today to Washington, the Dodgers have clinched home field through the National League Championship Series. The Dodgers actually now with the number 1 seed in the National League locked up. They've locked up home field advantage through the World Series should they make it that far.
Well, as great of a year as they've had, they too have had issues in the rotation and injuries. Missing some components going into the postseason.
They've won 96 games, which means they won't win 100. Nobody will. It's the first time in 10 years We have not had a 100-win team in a full season. Ball 2 strikes on Mark Vientos, who struck out his first time against the opener, Jarrett Koenig. He's facing Tobias Myers for the first time. Myers has retired 6 in a row since Alonso reached on an error to start the second inning.
Myers' last game, secondary stuff was a little bit flat, got hit around a little bit. Tonight, he seems to have tightened that up and is in the right quadrants to be successful for his arsenal and the way that he releases a baseball.
He's been successful this year. It's really his first big league taste. 26 years old. He bounced around a lot. He was drafted by Baltimore, ended up in Tampa Bay system, Cleveland, the Giants, the White Sox, then the Brewers. It's his 6th organization. There's Chris Hook, the pitching coach, who's gotten a lot out of guys like Myers, who strikes out Vientos. One away in the 4th. Here's Ken Rosenthal.
Wayne, this is one of the great stories of the season, kind of emblematic of who the Brewers are. Tobias Myers was number 80 in spring training, a non-roster invitee, one of the first players the Brewers cut. Manager Pat Murphy said, "I really didn't know much about him other than I knew he had no chance to make the team." This is his 6th organization, and in 2022, guys, he went 1-15 for 3 different AAA teams with an ERA of nearly 8.
So, John, how do they do it? How do they get the most out of these guys?
Well, the biggest thing, you got to see what angles that you're throwing a pitch and what quadrants. Like, if you're trying to make him throw downhill and throw down in the zone, you're doing a disservice to the way he releases the baseball. So throwing to the top of the zone and then wrinkling in a curveball and then making that slider or cutter work off of that, that's how you make whatever wasn't successful before allows him to be successful now. And it really does come down to individualizing sometimes a pitcher's strengths and weaknesses. If you just follow information, that may not be a pitcher's strength in the way that he can get to that information. And sometimes when you're desperate, you'll try different things and you'll try different routines and pitch sequences, and it seems to be working for him here.
It's 2-2 on Brandon Nimmo as Nimmo swung out of his shoes for this one. And another strikeout for Myers. Back-to-back to start the inning. He has 4 so far.
So a perfect example is you don't traditionally want to throw that kind of pitch up, a breaking ball, that cutter, but it works for him. It's harder for the hitter to recognize it. He throws straight over the top, and see how that pitch looks like it's just right there to be hit, but it does just enough to entice the hitter to think it's great, and then the spin and the late movement gives him success.
Here's Pete Alonso, reached on an error his first time. Myers has had a 2.52 ERA going back now over his last 19 starts. Pitching behind an opener here as the Brewers are just kind of experimenting here at the end of the season for what that could look like once the playoffs begin on Tuesday. And we don't even know if Myers will have a spot in their rotation, at least in the first round. He could if they move further beyond the wild card. 2 balls, 1 strike on Alonso. It's been sort of one and done for the Brewers over their last few postseason appearances. Made it to the National League Championship Series in 2018. They got as close as they have to the World Series since 1982 when they went to Game 7 in that NLCS against the Dodgers. Full count on Alonso. Swing and a miss. Tobias Myers strikes out the side in the 4th. It was Vientos to start, then Nimmo. And Tobias Myers caps is striking out of the side, punching out Pete Alonso.
Another health insurance commercial, another aqua aerobics scene.
Yep, most health insurance companies see us all the same. Smiley seniors, golfing, hiking.
Don't forget antiquing.
That's why I chose Humana. They see me, not a stereotypical senior. I'm pre-diabetic, so I talked one-on-one with the Humana health educator who really helped me. Now I'm taking free cooking and meditation classes.
Not aqua aerobics.
Better care begins with listening. Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
Now streaming on Disney Plus.
This is the moment we've been waiting for.
Feeling FOMO?
No big deal.
This is our life.
Is she serious right now?
Catch all the feels on Disney Plus.
We need that.
Inside Out 2, now streaming on Disney Plus.
Getting a fresh deal at Subway has never been easier. Just buy any footlong in the app, get another free. The only hard part is telling Travis he doesn't get the second footlong.
Wait, seriously?
I got you next time, buddy. Order now in the Subway app.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin night and day. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now I have Rinvoq, a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some taking Rinvoq felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days, and some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. Many saw clear or almost clear skin. Plus, many had clearer skin and less itch, even at 3 years.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your dermatologist about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Scoreless in Milwaukee in the bottom of the fourth. Cheese hats even make their way to baseball.
It's that time of the year where normally it's all about the Green Bay Packers, but not so fast.
William Contreras leads off in the bottom of the fourth. Jose Quintana struck out 6 so far. Well, considering your favorite football team and mine, probably shouldn't upset the Packer fans that are watching with who we root for in football.
No, but they hadn't had much to worry about until last year.
1 strike on Contreras.
200.
As it goes to 2-1. William Contreras has really provided a valuable bat as well as his defense behind the plate for the Brewers. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. An all-star in 2 of the last 3 years. Contreras with career highs in homers and RBIs this year. He's hit 23 home runs while driving in 92. Calls time here against Quintana, who's gotten off to a good start. 2 strikeouts in each of the first 3 innings. It's been 2.5 years since Quintana's had 6 strikeouts through 3 innings in a game. And he gets 1 more here, number 7, to punch out Contreras. 1 away in the 4th. And here's Ken Rosenthal for more on Quintana.
Well, John, you know this. Pitching choices are everything this time of year. Part of the chess match involved with managers. The Mets like their lefties better against the Brewers than they do against the Braves. So they wanted to get Quintana back into the mix tonight. David Peterson, their likely choice tomorrow, and that would leave...
Base hit up the middle for Adames as the Brewers get a man on here in the 4th.
That would leave the 2 right-handers from Monday's doubleheader, Tyler McGill and Luis Severino. Severino would be on an extra day's rest, and against the Braves lineup right now, which is heavily right-handed, that would be the way to go.
Makes sense. And I'll tell you what else makes sense. That ball came really close to Quintana. I mean, that is as close as you want. Your heart is beating really fast right now because that exit velocity gave him no chance to defend himself.
Right over his left shoulder. Now Rhys Hoskins takes ball 1. There's Hoskins, the former Philly who had hurt the Mets plenty as a Philly. He's had some good moments already as a Brewer, including the grand slam last night.
That's in. 2
balls, no strikes on Hoskins. We see this one go right over the shoulder of Quintana.
Watch Adames. He's like, oh man.
Claimed responsibility, which is nice, but what is he supposed to do?
You know, I never understood this. It's literally what they tell you: spin his cap, which means hit it up the middle. But no one ever wants to hit the pitcher.
Right.
You know, you feel terrible. It's about 108 off the bat, right? 107.9. And that is very fortunate.
Quintana goes to a curveball on 3-0 and gets a strike on Hoskins. Hey, you didn't throw many 3-0 curveballs in your day.
No, but in a game like this and what it means, this is what I talked about a postseason performance. When your team hasn't scored you any runs, you have to try to keep up with the zeros.
All four.
It's a walk to Hoskins, and the Brewers trying to build a threat. Runners on first and second. Quintana issues his first walk. There's Barrelman. Suit up at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of official jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. You're up with your favorite team at MLBshop.com. Single and a walk, giving Milwaukee a scoring chance here in the fourth. It's Gary Sanchez, the designated hitter. So he takes strike one from Quintana.
Well, that's a great pitch to start off a very homer. I mean, he has the power to hit a homer every swing, but now he can start chewing him up with the breaking ball. He gave him the sinker away. And there it is. So that's how you set up pitching. When you know a guy struggles against a pitch, you can't just necessarily throw every one of them like that. But when you establish a two-seam fastball away and then you come with a pitch that looks on the same lane, the hitter has a hard time laying off of it. So that's how you expose a dangerous hitter with power and miss the barrels of the bat.
He's ahead 0-2. And that one way upstairs to Sanchez. We go all the way back to May 10th. Quintana has allowed only 9 hits with runners in scoring position in a span of 78 at bats.
It's crazy how good he's been, especially when they hit it on the ground with runners in scoring position.
It's a 115 average in that span. Just missed the corner on Sanchez, 2-2.
So another great pitch to put pressure on Sanchez, and now he can come right back with that breaking ball if he wants. He tried to get his eyes up and he just wasted a pitch, didn't do anything. That pitch set up the next one if he wants to go right back to the breaking ball.
Sanchez struck out his first time, and now he lines one foul down the left field line.
That one caught, even though it was a really good pitch down, it caught a little bit too much of the plate down and in to Sanchez. You can bounce it and he'll swing at it, but if you leave it up, then he has time for his hands to stay back and get the bat on it.
26 straight scoreless innings for Quintana, trying to keep it that way here in the fourth.
Oh no, he goes.
Sanchez laid off.
That was a great pitch and a good take. Pitch really fooled him. Looked like the same pitch he'd swung out on top and missed.
So now on 3-2, time is called, and Torrens goes out to talk to Quintana. Iglesias will join. What are the Mets discussing here?
Well, they want to be sure on this pitch right here. A 3-2 pitch. Depending on the hitter, if you got an aggressive hitter, the 3-2 pitch is not neutral. That means you have the advantage. You can get him to swing at a ball. If you have a very patient hitter, then you really have to make the best quality pitch in the strike zone outside the middle of the plate. So I would think here in a 3-2 pitch with Sanchez, they could still go back to that breaking ball if they want. Otherwise, maybe lock him up inside with the fastball.
It's 3-2 on Sanchez, and it's in there for strike 3. The 8th strikeout ties the season high, and it's a big one for Quintana.
Well, he did a great job just navigating, staying out of the heart of the plate. Fastball, sinker away, did a nice job. Then he gets an aggressive swing. This one really wasn't much of a pitch that he was trying to accomplish. Then he nibbles a little bit and then gets two good breaking balls. And one was fouled and one was taken, and then he freezes him on a fastball down in the zone.
Now Isaac Collins, who had an infield hit his first time, just his second major league hit, takes ball one. But the Mets really needed a good start tonight. Sean Manaea had some trouble yesterday for how good he's been. 2 balls, no strikes. Quintana, a veteran, trying to step up here tonight, keep the Mets in this one, a game they really need.
I guarantee you, up until this point, there hasn't been hardly any pitches right down the middle, and that's how you navigate a lineup, and that's how you get those kind of strikeouts when you typically aren't a high volume strikeout pitcher.
Drops in the curveball, and it's 2-1. Collins has only been in the majors for a few weeks, 27 years old.
On the year, he had struggled against right-handed batters, and coming into this month, he's dominating right-handed batters. He's made a significant change in how he's navigated pitching to right-handed batters. During the year, about 1/4 of the at-bats would get 3-ball count on right-handed batters, and now he's been able to kind of subdue that in this month at the best time.
And he walks Collins and loads the bases. That's 2 walks in the inning. And now Joey Ortiz will have a chance in a big moment for Milwaukee as the Mets send their pitching coach Jeremy Hefner out to the mound.
Just to finish that thought, coming into this month, 0.87 average against right-handed batters, which is best in all of baseball. So you've taken that really struggle a little bit against right-handers and turned it into a dominant September.
16 home runs allowed to right-handers this year, but the opponent's average and OPS much lower against right-handers than left-handers. There will be a righty here, Ortiz, with the bases loaded. I mentioned the Corbin Burns trade. It was Ortiz that came back from Baltimore along with D.L. Hall. Ortiz in his first full year in the majors, trying to finish strong. Slashes one foul. Brewers have hit 10 grand slams this year, which is tied a franchise record. Hoskins has hit 3 of them, including the one last night. Ortiz has not had a hit yet with the bases loaded this year.
Hoskins' grand slam started at 0-2 count that he worked to a favorable count and then got his pitch, which really obviously broke up the game in the first inning and set the tone for the night.
Brewers won at 8-4 as Ortiz falls behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mets are pretty much in must-win mode. Brewers trying to make life difficult for New York with Monday's doubleheader in Atlanta looming. Scoreless in the 4th, the bases loaded, and it's Ortiz who slaps one foul down the right side. Another 1-2 with the bases loaded. Ortiz takes ball 2 on a curveball. Quintana has 8 strikeouts. One of them has come to Ortiz. Mentioned Batting average with runners in scoring position against Quintana since May 10th, just 115. Ortiz works a full count.
Well, he's made all the pitches he's needed to make in these counts. And he'll have to come up with a dandy one here with the crowd going crazy, and the merry-go-round of runners are going to take off on this pitch.
Well, the Brewer fans, as they stand here, they realize the gravity of this game, especially against the Mets. And it's loud here at American Family Field. But the base is loaded, the runners go on 3-2. And Ortiz loops one to left center field. That gets down for a base hit. Adames scores. So does Hoskins. Throw goes to second as Ortiz heads back to first after giving the Brewers a 2-0 lead.
Well, he hits it off the end of the bat, but he doesn't care. Looks like a line drive in the box score. 3-2, got to come in there. He throws him a breaking ball just off the end, slices it, and just kind of serves it out into that outfield grass, which plates 2.
Brewers entered the night tied for the second highest OPS in baseball with men in scoring position. Tied with the Mets. It's the Brewers who have the first big hit tonight. A 2-run single from Joey Ortiz. Went 2 on Andrew Monasterio. 2 out runs galore for Milwaukee this year, the best in baseball in scoring with 2 outs.
That's why putting it in play is so important for this team, to use their legs. I bet you some of those have been on the infield.
Ortiz is running. Torrens fakes a throw to second. Now he throws down. Ortiz slowed up trying to get caught, and he ends up stealing the base anyway. Ortiz was trying to force a throw, and Torrens didn't throw it until Ortiz was nearly all the way down.
There are tough plays to defend in our game, and we're starting to see the versions of it come back in. That's one of them. First and third, less than 2 outs, kind of safety squeeze is another one that's impossible to defend if you execute.
2 more stolen bases tonight for the Brewers. Suddenly Quintana having some trouble putting hitters away here in the 4th inning. That is an unbelievable number of steals considering how little these 2 teams play against each other. It's only the 5th time they faced off, and the Brewers have 16 stolen bases. There's strike 3 to Monasterio. And Quintana finally gets through the inning with his 9th strikeout. But the Brewers strike for 2. Joey Ortiz gives Milwaukee the lead.
With wet AMD, I worry I'm not only losing my sight, but my time to enjoy it. But now, I can open up my world with Vabysmo. Vabysmo is the first FDA-approved treatment for people with wet AMD that improves vision and delivers a chance for up to 4 months between treatments, so I can do more of what I love. Vabysmo works differently. It's the only treatment designed to block 2 causes of wet AMD.
Vabysmo is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection, active eye swelling, or are allergic to it. Treatments like Vabysmo can cause an eye infection or retinal detachment. Vabysmo may cause a temporary increase in eye pressure after receiving the injection. There is an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke associated with blood clots. Severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye can occur. Most common eye side effects were cataract and broken blood vessels.
Open up your world with Vabysmo.
A chance for up to 4 months between treatments with Vabysmo. Ask your doctor.
Look, I got the new iPhone 16 Pro at Verizon. Apple Intelligence is pretty awesome.
Nice.
You can get it when you trade in any phone.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
At Verizon, new and existing customers can get iPhone 16 Pro on us when you trade in any phone in any condition. Only on Verizon.
I didn't have to spend my life trying to find my calling. Mine found me at an early age. There was no question of what I wanted to be. It was just a matter of how good I could get and how far I would go.
At Ram, our calling is to build trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
And Joey Ortiz gets his first hit this year with the bases loaded. Comes at the expense of Jose Quintana, and the Mets in a big spot.
Well, if the Mets know that 2 or 3 innings, they've got some work to do to get this game tied. They're going to face a lot of leverage relievers for the Brewers.
Starling Marte drives one toward the right field corner. That slices fair into the corner. As Churio saw it bounce out of play, so Starling Marte gives the Mets a lift here in the 5th with an automatic double to begin the inning.
Sometimes when it's in a tight game and your team gets down, it's a wake-up call to the offense. They know they can't wait much longer. They've got to get back in the game. It's only 2 runs, but when you talk about what the Brewers can bring in from the 7th inning, 8th inning, and 9th inning, you better have that game tied before you get there.
Trevor McGill finished it last night. The Brewers still have plenty of firepower in what's been the 2nd best bullpen in baseball this year. And Pat Murphy intends to use his high leverage guys tonight and give them the day off tomorrow. Ball 1 to Luis Torrens. Milwaukee worrying about Tuesday, and they're not too concerned about if the Mets end up playing in that doubleheader Monday or not, and the Braves for that matter as well. Torrens rolls one to the shortstop Adames. Marte crosses over to third, and there's one away. Well, the 2024 MLB postseason begins Tuesday. The NL and AL wildcard series are on ESPN and ABC, and the National League Division Series gets underway next Saturday right here on Fox and FS1. Let's have a man on third with less than 2 outs, and it's Harrison Bader with 1 away stepping in. Entering today, the Mets would be the 3rd wild card in the 6th seed, so they play the Brewers on Tuesday here in Milwaukee. If that holds up, how about the Detroit Tigers in the American League?
There's not even a word you can describe. I mean, other than 0.2% chance to make the playoffs. And that just tells you what you can do when you get hot at the right time and start believing. And they were building for something for next year anyways. A.J. Hinch will tell you that, but he extended the season with a great month, and then the next thing you know, another great month, and here they are in the postseason with virtually nothing to lose. And I hate that statement, by the way.
Bader loops one right to the third baseman Ortiz, so 2 outs. Marte still at third after his leadoff double. The Tigers have been baseball's best team since August 10th. They were 10 games out of the wild card at that point, and now in the final weekend of the season they've clinched a spot. Just an exhilarating run for Detroit. Luis Angel Acuna looks at a strike from Tobias Myers, who's been sharp since coming in after an opener in the 2nd inning. Gets ahead of Acuna 0-2. Mets have not had a hit yet with a man in scoring position so far in this series. Their offense has cooled off here over the last week. They've been shut out so far tonight.
And a ground ball would have got the run in, and unfortunately a little looper kept the Mets from scoring here, and they need a big 2-out hit, as you mentioned here, to get this game with some momentum going their way.
It's Acuna, the number 9 batter, with a 1-2 count. He slaps one out toward right center, but it hangs up, and Chourio in position to end the inning. So the Mets waste a leadoff double. They still haven't scored. The Brewers are up 2-0.
So, what did you think of the pitch I emailed you?
Yes, the one that you emailed me. I remember. The pitch of Dog Days. What a title. Here we are. Very Victorian, which I loved. Unique relationship is formed. I love unique relationships.
With a twist.
I know, because I read it.
Great. I'm going to tell them you're interested.
I'm the team mascot, and boy, am I running late. But I got lead in my foot and spirit in my fingers. Oh, what a hit. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, the cost to cover that might tank your season. So get Allstate, save money on auto insurance, and be protected from mayhem, like me. Woo!
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary obligated to act in your best interests.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a transparent fee structured so we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Check these out, Harry. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. You just step in and they're on.
I must be dreaming.
No, mate, they're real.
Well, if I'm not dreaming, why is Snoop Dogg here?
I got a show at the stadium tonight.
Ah, that makes sense.
No hands-free with Skechers slip-ins.
There is nothing like a Wendy's Frosty. It's cool. It's creamy. It's only $1 right now. Wait, what? The one and only Frosty is $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Rory never thought she would live out her dream. Then one day, she did. You were made to chase your passions. We were made to put them in a package.
Well, Bernie's happy the Brewers won the division. He gets to work some playoff games.
Yeah, he's hoping that slide can start working. It's for homers, right?
Yes.
I think he should turn it into every time they slide and steal a base.
Well, he'd have some slide burn at this point with 216 steals this year.
I think that would be more exciting. Every time they slide in for a stolen base, he slides down the slide.
That's a lot of climbing and sliding for Bernie up in the chalet. He's got visitors up there tonight. Best seat in the house up in Bernie's room up there. Jackson Chourio leads off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Brewers ahead 2-0 against the Mets. As Chourio has the count in his favor, 2-1. A good week for Chourio. Aside from any accolades or even winning a division title recently, he's gotten to sit down and meet both Robin Yount and Giannis over the last week. It seemed to mean a lot to Chourio to have a conversation and meet Robin Yount for the first time. Of course, the legendary Brewer Yount, helping the Milwaukee Brewers win their only pennant back in 1982, a Hall of Famer. And the sky's the limit from what we've seen from the 20-year-old Chourio so far. Chourio has a single and a steal tonight. He's also struck out Quintana's fan 9. And Chourio hammers one out toward left. Nimmo's racing after it toward the wall. It's off the wall. Chourio's at second base to lead off double.
This might be one of the few pitches that were left in the middle of the zone. You see where he's set up. terribly. Inner third, he pulls his hands in and just gets to the barrel of the bat quicker than the ball got in to the catcher's side of the glove, and he did a nice job offensively, taking really what was a pitch on the inner third.
29th double to go with 21 homers and 21 steals in his rookie year. Now Mitchell bunts third base side. It moves Churio to third as Vientos throws out Mitchell. The Brewers doing their brand of small ball. They move the runner over after a leadoff double. One out, Churio's at third. Here's Ken.
Well, guys, he really struggled the first 2 months, Churio did. But the turning point of his season came right here after a game in late May in which he went hitless. Churio kind of sheepishly asked the hitting coach, Ozzie Timmons, he was a rookie, he was reluctant to ask if he could stay and hit off a pitching machine in the batting cage, just swing it out. Churio said he just wanted to go home feeling good about what he was doing. He kept swinging and swinging until he got tired, and from there, he took off.
He certainly did, Ken. Thank you very much. The Brewers have a 2-0 lead over the Mets. Churio's at third. The Mets go to their bullpen here in the fifth.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin night and day. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now I have Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some Rinvoq patients felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days. Some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. And many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Help heal your painful skin. Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Too far, man. How do you sleep at night?
On a mattress, a ton of quality mattresses there. So actually...
Get matched at Mattress Firm? Sleep at night. What if the promise of better work wasn't just something we dreamed about, but something we found? This might be the one. Or better yet...
No way!
Something that found us.
I got the interview.
To truly embrace the fine life, you must learn to let go. Bienvenidos a la vida más fina.
Let's get into their bullpen here in the fifth, and it's Phil Maton to face Contreras with one out. The ground ball, Acuna on top of it with a backhand, and the throw retires Contreras.
Oh, what a play. Infield in, less angle to work on getting to the ball, and he smothers it. Did not have the contact play on. If the contact play on, the runner's going to take off as soon as the ball's hit, which means they're going to wait for it to go through, and Acuna does a great job getting on that pitch, getting on that ball.
Contreras hits a lot of ground balls. I wonder if that was why the Brewers decided not to run the contact play there, thinking that Contreras hits the ball on the ground a lot. That is the type of play that could happen. Maton started his year with Tampa Bay, was traded to the Mets in July. No balls, 2 strikes on Willie Adames. The Mets bullpen was pretty maligned early in the year, but since the All-Star break, they haven't been too bad. A 3.49 ERA, 4th lowest in the National League. Adames has been an RBI machine for the Brewers. The shortstop record belongs to Robin Yount. He had 113 RBIs from the shortstop position in 1982. Adames at 111 this year.
Oh no.
Held off, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Definitely see when they're successful, he's successful.
Done a lot of damage with men on base this year. And he swings and misses here. Big slow breaking ball from Maton to end the inning. Brewers turn to strand a leadoff double. It's still 2-0.
This Kia Turbo Hybrid is built for all the things you've yet to do. Like taking a long drive, just to throw a monster tailgate party at an away game.
Risk it, anyone?
Do what's yet to be done. The new Kia Carnival Turbo Hybrid. Kia, movement that inspires.
You know this ball is scorched. Google Cloud AI knows that 102 mile/hour exit velocity with a 38-degree launch angle means a 40% chance that ball's out of here. Plus, it's 95 degrees out, so the ball is going to carry an extra 6.6 feet today. Talk about a hot hit.
This guy's on fire.
Catch the game like never before with Google Cloud AI.
On a Longing, Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, what are you doing here? Texting another conference now.
Yeah, but it's like on the other side of the country. It's really, really far.
But you're not even on our schedule this season.
Maybe we can meet you in the playoffs.
That's crazy talk.
You know what else is crazy? Getting all that Dr. Pepper flavor with 0 sugar.
But Dr. Pepper doesn't have a questionable secondary like Tech does.
Here, catch!
And that's why you're a mascot.
College football, it's a Pepper thing.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
At Papa John's, get an extra large New York style one-topping pizza for only $10.99. It's a mouth-watering, stretched thinner, made bigger, more for your money, extra large New York style one-topping pizza for only $10.99. Better get you some Papa John's.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Ace. You overdid it on the loaded fries, and now your gut is in the gutter. Undo it with Pepto Fast Melts, so you can keep on rolling. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
Late night tonight on Fox. Heisman candidate Dylan Gabriel leads Oregon as they look to prove they're one of the nation's best when they take on UCLA. It all goes down tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fox. The new Big Ten After Dark, as Yoel Payamps is on the mound for Milwaukee. Lindor shows bunt and takes ball one. The Brewers promise a lot of their high leverage relievers, and well, here's one of them. Payamps has had a good year, especially in the second half.
They built a pretty good thing in the back end of their bullpen now that Williams is healthy. Got some flamethrowers, got guys who can spin it.
Second best bullpen ERA in baseball. Only Cleveland's has been better. 3.16 the ERA for the Brewer pen this year. They did a lot of that without Devin Williams, although he's certainly ready for the ninth inning today, as Lindor got on base a few times yesterday, but he's 0 for 2 today. Swung through that pitch to make it 2-2. Payamps cuts him out with the slider. Strikes out the first batter he faces here in the sixth. 2024 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One recognizes a player who truly represents the game. Positive contributions on and off the field. Learn more about the nominees and vote today by scanning the QR code or visit MLB.com/Clemente Award. Francisco Lindor is the Mets nominee this year. Freddie Peralta on the Milwaukee side. The winner will be honored at the World Series, which could be right here in Milwaukee if things go great in October. Balls 2 strikes on Jose Iglesias. Swing and a miss on the slider again. Payamps has struck out the first 2.
Well, the Mets have hit the skids at the wrong time offensively. That's 7 runs in the last 4 games. And they're going to have to pick it up. They got to find a switch, something that gets them going, because they're going to need a little bit more than what they've shown in the last 4 games if they want to extend their season.
Mets only have 2 hits tonight. Iglesias singled in the first. And there's Starling Marte, who doubled in the 5th. It was a leadoff double. Mets also had their leadoff man reach second in the 2nd inning on an error. Not come through with runners in scoring position the few chances they've had tonight or even yesterday. As Mark Vientos bats here, he has struck out twice. He homered last night.
He's got great release right now on that breaking ball. That ball's turning the corner, starting in the zone, disappearing on the hitters for the Mets.
It's 2 balls and a strike on Vientos. There it is again.
Gotta respect the fastball, and then you see that downward tilt.
Last 29 games, Piops has allowed just 3 earned runs. He struck out the first 2 here in the 6th. That's in there, strike 3 called. Piops strikes out the side. It's the 2nd time a Brewer has done that tonight.
Smile, you found it. The feeling of finding psoriasis can't filter out the real you. So go ahead, live unfiltered with the one and only Sotyktu, a once-daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis and the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding you're so ready for your close-up, or finding you don't have to hide your skin, just your background. Once daily Sotyktu was proven better, getting more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. There's only one Sotyktu, so ask for it by name. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
Oh, in a harbor, there was a port, the busiest port that you ever did see. Now the boats move the goods, good jobs for the people. People build the city, and the city comes to life, and life has a rhythm, and rhythm as a whole. Oh.
JP Morgan Chase invests in infrastructure to help create more jobs here at home.
Make the green grass grow all around, make the green grass grow all around.
Welcome to Applebee's. What can I get you?
I have the 50-cent bone.
Cover your mouth. They could steal your order.
The 50-cent boneless wings?
I'll have the same.
Perfect. They'll never see it coming.
50-cent boneless wings every day, only at Applebee's.
Today, let's paint with Behr, America's most trusted paint brand.
Wait, we don't have Behr.
Well, with Behr, you can paint a whole room for under $100. How much did you spend?
More?
I thought you said you researched this.
Don't overpay for your next project. Get Behr quality at an everyday low price, only at the Home Depot.
They need their lawn back fast. And you need Scott's Turf Builder Rapid Grass. It grows grass 2 times faster than just seed the lawn. Giving you a stronger lawn. Smell that freedom, eh?
Download the My Lawn app today for lawn care tips and customized plans.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
Rhys Hoskins begins the bottom of the 6th inning with the Brewers ahead 2-0. 2 out, 2-run base hit by Joey Ortiz with the bases loaded in the 4th. While 3 Milwaukee pitchers have shut out the Mets on 2 hits through 6 innings tonight. Hoskins walked and scored on that base hit by Ortiz in the 4th. Maton gets ahead of him 0-2. As far as those other games go of importance to the Mets tonight, Kansas City and Atlanta are tied at 1. That game's in the 7th inning now. Padres and Diamondbacks are scoreless in the 4th. Hoskins strikes out on a cutter from Maton. 1 out here in the 6th as we send it down to Ken Rosenthal.
Wayne, one of the problems the Mets are facing here is that the Braves and the Diamondbacks are facing teams that just clinched. Teams that are not putting their best foot forward necessarily. Tonight, Kansas City does not have Bobby Witt Jr. in the lineup. The Padres do not have Jake Cronenworth. Merrill, Arise, they're all out of the lineup as well. They're pitching Randy Vasquez. The Royals pitched Seth Lugo only 2 innings. So in addition to what they're facing here, a Milwaukee team that still wants it, they've got an uphill battle because those other 2 teams they're competing with are maybe not facing their best.
The Royals just clinched yesterday a playoff spot for their 106-loss season a year ago. And for David Stearns, of course, the longtime Brewers general manager, is now running baseball operations for the Mets. This wasn't necessarily a year that they were supposed to contend, but they are contending, and now they want to see this thing through.
Yeah, they've done everything you need to do to, as we talked about, take care of a really horrendous start.
The ball's 2 strikes on Bowers, and he swings and misses as Maton makes short work of him. So 3 straight strikeouts for Maton.
You wouldn't know if Maton is given up 10 runs or struck out 10 in a row. He just basically just goes about his business. You see the wild card standings as it stands right now. Slow heartbeat, to say the least, for Maton.
The ball's it's 2 outs on 2 strikeouts, and here is Isaac Collins batting from the left side now against Maton. Well, the Brewers were somewhat responsible for the Mets' slow start. And the Mets lost their first 5 in a row to begin the year, all of them at home. Milwaukee swept them in the opening series of the season. And eventually, the Mets were 11 games under 500. That's when their turnaround began. They've gone 63 and 36 over the last 99. Nice catch by the ball boy down the right field line. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's Maton's turn to strike out the side. Baseball night in America in Milwaukee. A big one for the Mets, trailing against the Brewers 2-0.
You want to be a lifeguard? This is the real deal.
I'm Jody Habish-Sinekin, and I'm running for state senate to bring us together and move Wisconsin forward by investing in our schools and workforce, making sure our police have all they need to keep us safe, and protecting our precious places for today and tomorrow so that young families can put down roots and succeed here in Wisconsin. It's about building something better together. Now that's something we can all agree on.
Vote Jody Habish-Sinekin for state senate.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now.
Are you kidding?
More heroics, more fireworks, more opportunities to make history in this building. Because when that temperature drops, the action heats up. Clear your schedule, claim your spot. Get ready for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss. Get your tickets now.
I know I've messed up in the past. From now on, there will be $0
delivery fee.
What?
With Dash Pass, you pay $0 delivery fee on DoorDash.
To 0!
Dash Pass, your door to $0 delivery fees. DoorDash.
When you want a newer used sedan, truck, or SUV, look no further than the Rosen Automotive Group. With 5 locations on 27th Street, we have over 2,000 new and used vehicles available now, including Honda, Hyundai, Nissan, Kia, and pre-owned. Plus, you get the Rosen customer experience. For your next vehicle, check out Rosen Row on South 27th Street.
Rosen.
Fox 6, helping you decide in 2024. Unbiased and accurate journalism from a news team you can trust. Keeping you informed with the best coverage and exclusive reports. So you're ready come November. Fox 6, your election headquarters.
Fox 6 is local all morning long with weather first. Fox 6 Wake Up News, because you matter.
Our game summary with Joey Ortiz's bases loaded hit, the first of his career, providing the only 2 runs of this game. Jose Quintana had a season-high 9 strikeouts. The Mets have punched out 10 times tonight against 3 different Brewer pitchers. There's Ortiz, who had the big hit for Milwaukee. Now Brandon Nimmo takes ball 1 to start the 7th against Aaron Ashby, the new pitcher.
Yeah, you see his numbers. This big lefty saw the breaking ball. He goes downhill with his fastball. This is where it gets tough for opposing teams. That's 98. Right over the top.
Well, Ashby had shoulder surgery, missed all of last year. And he was having a tough time at AAA to begin this season. He figured some things out with the AAA pitching coach, and he's been dynamite out of the Brewer bullpen since rejoining the major league roster on August 25th. He has 28 strikeouts in 19 innings. Nimmo hits a chopper. Adames rushes the throw, and he gets Nimmo by a step. Tomorrow, a huge day of football on Fox at 1 Eastern. Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles against Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. Or at 4 o'clock, the Patriots take on Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Check for the game in your area only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. 1 out. Here's Alonso in the 7th. Carlos Mendoza was hoping to see a breakout from Alonso as they get right up against the finish line. So far today, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Clear. I think Alonso's looking fastball here out over the middle of the plate. Something he can drive on a 2-0 count. Man. That's just 98. That's the reason that ball didn't get smashed. Just 98 away.
Free agent after the season, Alonso's already hit the 3rd most homers in Mets history. If he does come back, he'll set the Mets record. And he has the 3rd most home runs by any player in his first 6 seasons. That includes a shortened year. Hits this one high and pretty deep left center field as Mitchell gets over. So does Collins, and it's Collins on the warning track as Alonso got under it just a bit.
What I like about Ashby, besides his stuff, I like pitchers that have the ability to pitch out of the windup. I know it's not the norm anymore. They condense everything, but his luxury out of the windup, going downhill, creates that illusion that helps him be even more effective. And that's just not the norm anymore. Everyone's condensing it down to a sidestep, kind of like pitching out of the stretch.
Slow bouncer toward 3rd. Ortiz has to hurry with Marte running. He gets him. And it's a quick inning for Aaron Ashby in the 7th. Brewers pitching has been on point here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
I just wanted to remind you that Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. In fact, it's so easy. It reminds me of a joke my mate told me. Now, a knuckleballer and a catcher walk into a bullpen, and a knuckleballer turns to the catcher. Get it? Wow, they really like that one.
It's easy to Geico, official partner of Major League Baseball.
Homes.com is a new, elevated home shopping experience. Beautiful design, tremendously rich content, and my favorite touch, it's the only site that always connects you to the listing agent. Feels like a work of art.
Lovely. What about the app?
Uh-oh! Look what I did. It's ringing. Hello? Hello? Hello?
They can't hear you.
Hello?
Because you glued a frame over the microphone.
I think I've glued the frame over the microphone.
Ding dong!
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Join us this Saturday and Sunday. Jersey Mike's is donating 20% of sales to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
Au revoir, mon amour. Au bientôt.
Let's work on that French, shall we?
Au revoir, mon amour. À bientôt. Au revoir, mon amour. À bientôt.
Drew Eller and Penn State take on UCLA. Watch out! Big noon Saturday, only on Fox.
Tonight's telecast sponsored by Geico. Get more with Geico. Mets won the National League pennant in 2015. Last World Series win, 1986. It's been a while. The Mets hoping to get back to the postseason. They clinched a postseason spot here in Milwaukee a couple of years ago. At that time, they were in first place in the National League East. And they decided not to really do a big celebration. They wanted to hold off Atlanta and potentially have their celebration after they won the division. Well, they never did. And then they lost in the wild card round against the Padres. So that 100-win team the Mets had in 2022 never did get to pop the champagne. But they certainly will if they can make the postseason this year. It will be a little more difficult if they can't win here tonight.
That's a bad break. You know, yes. That really is a bad break. I understand the philosophy, I truly do, but you just never think it's going to play out like that.
It's Joey Ortiz leading off here in the bottom of the 7th. He has driven in the only 2 runs tonight, facing Ryan Stanek, the new pitcher for New York.
You know, we take for granted, and I say this every time I come here, what a huge advantage to have a dome. You are guaranteed to play every home game without interruption, and that's just rhythm and a big key for the Brewers.
Ortiz strikes out. Mets pitchers have struck out 5 in a row. 1 out. The Mets haven't played very well here in Milwaukee of late. They haven't played well in Atlanta either. It's really a tough place, or place is, for the Mets to finish this season trying to make the playoffs. 18-34 in Atlanta since 2018. They were swept by the Braves at the end of the 2022 season when 1 win would have clinched the division for them. And they'll have to maybe go back there and win at least one end of a doubleheader to clinch a playoff spot on Monday. Andrew Monasterio is the batter. Not an accident that he spells his first name like Andrew Jones. Great center fielder of the Braves. He is named after Andrew Jones. That's why he's got that U toward the end instead of an E. Two balls, 1 strike on Monasterio. Sure you didn't mind having Andrew Jones roaming center field behind you?
Are you kidding me? That is, and I truly believe he will end up in the Hall of Fame. He is, and I'll be accused of being biased, but best center fielder I've ever seen in person. When you're a fly ball pitcher, your outfield's your best friends, and I had some good ones. Well, this game scored 2 runs, and in the 3 games combined of all the playoff teams.
Another strikeout. That's 6 in a row by Mets pitching as Monasterio goes down.
Of all the 3 teams playing, 2 runs. 1-1 going into the 8th for Kansas City and Atlanta. 0-0 I still believe in San Francisco, San Diego and Arizona. So all very tightly contested, and only Kansas City is the only team that's punched a ticket of those 4 we're talking about.
The Royals clinched a playoff spot last night after 106 losses last year. You know, the Tigers' spectacular final 7 weeks kind of overshadowed the Royals story. That's a pretty good story too. There's a fly ball pretty well to right, but Marte gets to it, and it's Chourio flying out to end the inning. 1-2-3 in the 7th for Stanek.
With wet AMD, I worry I'm not only losing my sight, but my time to enjoy it. But now, I can open up my world with Vabysmo. Vabysmo is the first FDA-approved treatment for people with wet AMD that improves vision and delivers a chance for up to 4 months between treatments, so I can do more of what I love. Vabysmo works differently. It's the only treatment designed to block 2 causes of wet AMD.
Vabysmo is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection, active eye swelling, or are allergic to it. Treatments like Vabysmo can cause an eye infection or retinal detachment. Vabysmo may cause a temporary increase in eye pressure after receiving the injection. There is an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke associated with blood clots. Severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye can occur. Most common eye side effects were cataract and broken blood vessels.
Open up your world with Vabysmo.
A chance for up to 4 months between treatments with Vabysmo. Ask your doctor.
Everyone is raving about the best origin movie ever made.
Come on! We could have built the future together.
I don't think so. Transformers 1, now playing. Rated PG.
Sure, Vistaprint prints business cards, but we also print these and those. And engrave that. We print your brand on everything so customers can notice you, remember you, and fall in love with you. If you need it, we print it with 25% off for new customers at Vistaprint.com.
Brisket is back at Chipotle. Seasoned, smoked, seared, spiced, sauced, bold, and guacced. It's a whole new kind of brisket done the Chipotle way.
Blocked from watching the big match? Save the day by using the Bank of America customized cash rewards card and choose to earn 3% cash back on online purchases, like live streaming.
Check these out, Harry. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. You just step in and they're on.
I must be dreaming.
No, mate, they're real.
Well, if I'm not dreaming, why is Snoop Dogg here?
I got a show at the stadium tonight.
Ah, that makes sense.
No hands-free with Skechers slip-ins.
The 2024 MLB postseason begins Tuesday with the AL and NL Wildcard Series on ESPN and ABC. Then the National League Division Series gets underway next Saturday here on Fox and FS1. We know the Dodgers and Phillies will be the hosts for those Division Series openers on the National League side next Saturday. The Dodgers the 1 seed, the Phillies 2. It will be determined throughout the week who they play starting next weekend. Here's Nick Mears on the mound for Milwaukee, a hard thrower, gets a lot of strikeouts. He's been hit around at times, and he'll face former Brewer Tyrone Taylor, who pinch hits for Torrens.
And that's the difference between raw velocity and sometimes what the hitter sees as perceived velocity. Guys can throw hard, but the hitter can pick it up really easy out of some guys, and we just saw.
Taylor lifts one out toward right. Churio moves toward it and makes the play as Taylor flies out. So the Mets haven't been able to solve the Brewers pitching tonight. And if you don't get to Mears, well, it's Devin Williams in the 9th inning.
Yeah, and they got to get somebody on base to at least get the tying run. And there hasn't been much to cheer about if you're a Mets fan. And still time, and still this game won't determine really anything other than they'll either be at a disadvantage if the Braves win. Tomorrow will be the most important game they'll play if they don't win tonight.
Certainly gets trickier for the Mets with a loss here this evening. Here's Francisco Alvarez to pinch hit for Bader. Strike to Alvarez, who injured his back last night, but was already feeling better by the time the game was over yesterday. Available to pinch hit and even catch today. He'll catch the bottom of the 8th. Alvarez sliding into third base last night, immediately reacting to some lower back pain.
He does not get cheated at the plate. This man likes to swing the bat and swing it with power and speed.
So 11 homers this year. He waves and misses on the slider from Mears. The Mets have now been set down in 11 consecutive at-bats since Starling Marte led off the 5th with a double.
Well, again, it seems like a broken record, but when you're facing the Milwaukee Brewers, much like the Cleveland Guardians, you better have the lead going into the 6th or 7th inning. And it's an uphill battle when they arm their bullpen to close out a game. They're pretty good at it.
Mears missed about a month with a forearm injury, and he's back now. This is only his second appearance since returning. They're hoping he can start to put together better results than what he's had this year. So far the results pretty good in this 8th inning, and they're about to get even better as Acuna flies it to Churio. Nick Mears a 1-2-3 inning, and the Mets have been stymied by Milwaukee's pitching here tonight. 2-0 Brewers.
The UPS store is more than just a shipping store. We're the packet, ship it, guarantee it store. We know running a small business takes a lot of grit. So we're the We've Got Your Back store. Because when you trust us to pack it and ship it, we guarantee it. So it'll get into the hands of your customers safely. Which is why we're the Stand By Our Work guaranteed store. Visit the upsstore.com/save and get 20% off print services today.
You know this is a fastball. Google Cloud AI knows that when the home pitcher throws a 98-mile-per-hour heater with a 13-inch drop, there's a 24.7% chance the hitter swings and misses. Oh, and hot dog sales are up 4% today. Which is what happens when the home team starts racking up Ks.
Got him with a fastball.
Now that had some mustard on it. Catch the game like never before with Google Cloud AI.
I didn't have to spend my life trying to find my calling. Mine found me at an early age. There was no question of what I wanted to be. It was just a matter of how good I could get and how far I would go.
At Ram, our calling is to build trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Thanks. What'd you get? Oh, I got another double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double hot, double calf, double sweet. Hey, did you know that Discover doubles your cash back at the end of the first year? You are cut off.
You earn, we match.
Debbie.
Unlimited cashback match.
There is nothing like a Wendy's Frosty. It's cool. It's creamy. It's only $1 right now. Wait, what? The one and only Frosty is $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Google Cloud, the official AI partner of MLB. Catch the game like never before with Google Cloud AI. MLB celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month by recognizing the contributions made to our game by the Latino baseball community, past and present. Follow at Los Mayores and at MLB, and visit losmayores.com for full coverage. And one big hit in this game, Joey Ortiz with the bases loaded in the fourth, dropped a 2-out, 2-run single. The Mets have not been able to do much against Milwaukee's pitching staff as Reed Garrett comes in, facing Garrett Mitchell here in the bottom of the 8th, and the leadoff man is on for the Brewers. Tyrone Taylor, the former Brewer, now in the game in center field. And Francisco Alvarez stays in to catch. William Contreras tonight is 0 for 3. It's not like the Brewers have been blistering the ball either. 2 runs on 6 hits. They've all been singles except for Churio, doubled in the 5th inning. The Mets have only had 2 hits, one of them a double.
Yeah, 3-2 little tennis lob with the bases loaded, and that's the difference. 2 runs, and give the Milwaukee Brewers pitching plan and attacking their lineup for the Mets. They've done a nice job limiting the amount of times they hit it.
0-1 to William Contreras with Adames and then Hoskins behind him. Padres and Diamondbacks are still scoreless in the bottom of the 5th in Arizona. The Royals and the Braves are still tied at 1. They're now in the bottom of the 8th in Atlanta.
You're not going to win a ton of baseball games striking out 15 times, but the Milwaukee Brewers, if my math is right, have struck out 15 times.
Your math is excellent. They have, and they're winning. And they have their closer up in the bullpen, Devin Williams. Jose Quintana had 9 strikeouts tonight, but it was in that 4th inning when he just started to have some trouble putting hitters away. Well, he walked Hoskins with 1 out, and then with 2 out and 2 on, he walked Isaac Collins. He's only had 2 major league hits, and then Ortiz had a long at bat before dropping that base hit to score 2 runs. Runner going, throw to second by Alvarez, and it hits the base runner. Mitchell has a stolen base. It's the 3rd tonight for Milwaukee.
Alvarez did a nice job throwing the ball right to the correct side of the bag, but the runner and the ball get there at the same time, and Iglesias was not in front of the bag. He was in the baseline, which enabled the ball to get to the runner before his glove. If he's in front of the runner, he gets the ball easily and makes the tag, and he's out.
That's a good point. Iglesias behind the runner there as Mitchell dove in with a steal. The Brewers continue to run at will against the Mets. 8 stolen bases now in this series, 3 tonight. A man in scoring position with nobody out. There's ball 4 to Contreras. Jeremy Hefner, the New York pitching coach, heads out. Reed Garrett has not allowed a run in each of his last 13 appearances. The Mets are desperate for some outs, down 2. It's already going to be tough against Williams, down even more. The Mets will be in a position that might send them scrambling with 3 games to go after this one. 1 more for them here in Milwaukee, then 2 in Atlanta looming on Monday to make up 2 rainouts this week. The regular season ends for everyone but the Mets and the Braves tomorrow. Adames has hit 13 3-run homers this season. He's tied for the most of all time in a single year. Big hitters on that list, guys who hit a lot of home runs. Adames grounds one into left field, a base hit. Mitchell's heading home. The Brewers looking for some insurance. A 3-0 here in the 8th.
Right down the middle. Ball between the shortstop and third baseman, and the speed on the bases, you're going to have a hard time throwing these Brewers out.
4th in the majors with his 112th RBI. It's another knock for Adames to drive in a run. Now Hoskins takes ball 1. Two hits and a walk, a stolen base as well, helped Mitchell get around. Hoskins walked and scored earlier. He's 0 for 2. Tied up by that pitch from Garrett, a sinker at 97 that ran in. Swing and a miss by Hoskins. Garrett gets the first out of the inning. It's the 16th strikeout by Mets pitching tonight. A new season high. As Garrett gets the first out of the inning. Families affected by Hurricane Helene urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today to Hurricane Helene by going to redcross.org or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS. Certainly many throughout the Southeast affected by that, including in Georgia, which is why the Mets and Braves had those postponements earlier this week. It's Jake Bowers, who came on as a pinch hitter earlier for Gary Sanchez, batting for the second time tonight. Broken bat fly ball. Acuna chasing, and he can't reach it. A base hit. The bases are loaded after a bloop falls in from Bowers. The Brewers trying to break it open here in the 8th.
A lot of swing and miss, as we talked about 15 strikeouts, but these kind of hits are why they're up 3-0.
Now the Mets bring their infield in, desperate to keep it 3-zip. Collins tonight has a hit and a walk, starting in place really of Sal Frelick, who got injured last night. Brewers not sure how long Frelick will be out. There's some relief that it wasn't as serious as it looked. Just a deep bruise for Frelick. Let's see if he's able to get back in there by the time the Brewers get the playoffs going on Tuesday. The ball's 2 strikes on Collins.
Yeah, that's a big weapon that's taken out of their lineup if he's not able to be at full strength.
A big weapon in the outfield too. He's been terrific in right field. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pat Murphy loves Frelick. Remember, Pat Murphy was the head coach at one point at Arizona State University, where he coached Dustin Pedroia. So it'll warm Frelick's Boston heart to know that Pat Murphy sees a lot of Dustin Pedroia in Sal Frelick.
Oh no.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Collins. Mets have their infield in as Collins swings and misses on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Strikeout number 17 from the Mets.
This is just good old-fashioned 4-seam gas.
Now the infield can back up, and here's Ortiz. His first bases loaded hit in his career earlier was a big one, a 2-run single with 2 outs in the 4th against Jose Quintana. Two balls, no strikes here on Ortiz. There's Williams ready to go. I would imagine he'll pitch the 9th inning, even if the Brewers break it open here. Milwaukee looking to just get a lot of their high leverage guys work today so that they can give them Sunday and Monday off and have those arms rested and ready for the postseason starter on Tuesday. All three of those wild card series games will be played here in Milwaukee. There's ball 4. Ortiz his third RBI tonight. And a bases loaded walk has made it 4-0 Brewers.
Yeah, interesting pitch selection there. He went with the slider on the 3-0, thinking he might have had the green light, and didn't make it enough competitive to have the hitter go after it.
So Reed Garrett gives up 2, leaves with the bases loaded. The Mets will go back to their bullpen here in the 8th.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin night and day. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now I have Rinvoq, a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some taking Rinvoq felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days, and some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. Many saw clear or almost clear skin. Plus, many had clearer skin and less itch, even at 3 years.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections and blood clots, some fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your dermatologist about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
They say you can't reinvent the wheel. But they say a lot of things. In 1953, they said our whiskey recipe tasted perfectly fine. So we burned it and made it better. Maker's Mark. Make your mark.
What's that?
That's the Taco Bell Cantina chicken.
Okay, well, please tell me you're using a condiment.
Yeah, avocado verde salsa.
Oh, this is how we chicken in this house.
We believe in mayo.
There's more than mayo.
Oh, no, you didn't say that.
Sometimes Jonah wrestles with falling asleep, so he takes ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, and wakes up feeling like himself. Get the rest to be your best with non-habit-forming ZzzQuil. Better days start with ZzzQuil nights.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Danny Young will try to get the final out of this 8th inning as the Brewers have scored twice. Bases loaded. Andrew Monasterio takes ball 1. 2 in the 4th, now 2 in the 8th. The Brewers have shut out the Mets in the meantime through 8 innings on just 2 hits.
Oh.
Two balls and a strike on Monasterio. If you're the Mets now, what's your approach the next 3 games, 2 days here?
Well, the approach is you better get some continuity going offensively, even if you can crack some runs in the 9th.
There's a ground ball. It sneaks through. It's a base hit. Adames comes home. So does Bowers. The Brewers break it open. 4 in the 8th. It's 6-0 Milwaukee.
Yeah, you've got to have something going offensively that gives you a feeling like you can do what's opposite up in the last 4 games. And that starts really in the 9th inning, regardless of the score in this game. You know, the likelihood of scoring that many runs off of Williams isn't great, but you've got to put together better at bats. And you've got 1 game, 1 inning and 1 game to do that, starting in the top of the 9th.
Mets will play here against the Brewers tomorrow afternoon. And then more than likely they'll have to go to Atlanta. Nothing has been decided in those other games tonight. Padres and Diamondbacks are still scoreless in the bottom of the 6th. Arizona just got its first hit in that game. Corbin Carroll with the double. The Braves are batting in the bottom of the 9th inning, tied with Kansas City at 1 apiece. The Mets will be in must-win mode now tomorrow. And then they'll see what they'll need when they go play the Braves Monday. The Mets were rolling. They had won 5 out of 6, make that 6 out of 7 before they went to Atlanta earlier this week. They were shut down by Spencer Schwellenbach of the Braves. Then the 2 rainouts, and then yesterday an early deficit that turned into an 8-4 loss. Tonight it's 6-0 Brewers. Churio strikes out. And the Mets with a big hill to climb at the top of the 9th. They'll have the top of their order, but a lot of work to do against Devin Williams.
At Fisher Investments, we may look like other money managers, but we're different.
How so?
We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our clients' best interest, so we don't sell any commission-based products.
Then how do you make money?
We have a simple management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority by getting to know their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more.
Wow. Maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
At Typical Insurance, you're just another senior.
That is the 3rd health insurance commercial with seniors at a farmer's market.
Right? Don't get me wrong, I love a fresh heirloom, but it's like those companies think we're all the same.
That's why I chose Humana. Before I signed up, I spoke to someone who actually listened to what I needed. She told me about benefits that were right for me, like vision and dental, all in my budget. I finally feel in control. What are you doing?
Taking control.
Humana, a more human way to healthcare.
HCM is a serious heart condition affecting as many as 1 in 200 people. Like me.
And me. I was still short of breath on my beta blocker.
So I talked to my cardiologist.
And asked about treatment advances in HCM.
That talk made a real difference.
It gave me new hope.
Talk to your cardiologist today. Visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Hey, Scott, this stuff's perfect for fall, right?
Yep, it feeds your lawn now to strengthen roots all winter for a better lawn next spring.
How do you know all this?
Says it right there on the back.
Yes, it does.
Download the My Lawn app today for lawn care tips and customized plans.
Feed it, lawn. Feed it.
Today, let's paint with Behr, America's most trusted paint brand.
Wait, we don't have Behr.
Well, with Behr, you can paint a whole room for under $100. How much did you spend?
More?
I thought you said you researched this.
Don't overpay for your next project. Get Behr quality at an everyday low price. Only at the Home Depot.
Getting a fresh deal at Subway has never been easier. Just buy any footlong in the app, get another free. The only hard part is telling Travis he doesn't get to second footlong.
Wait, seriously?
I got you next time, buddy. Order now in the Subway app.
Willie Adames helping spark a 4-run 8th inning and an RBI single to bring in the first of those 4 runs. You can experience all the autumn action beginning Tuesday, postseason time. Go to MLB.com/postseason for the full schedule. And we know the Brewers will be playing Tuesday. We know their closer, Devin Williams, will be ready to go for the late innings.
He has one of the most unhittable pitches in the game right now when he throws a power changeup, which is almost like a screwball, and it goes away from the left-handed hitter after they got to see his fastball. The only things he gets in trouble from time to time is walks.
Just about 4 months with a back injury, a stress fracture. And it's that fabulous air-bending changeup that has made Devin Williams an elite reliever. Last year, the National League Reliever of the Year. He had 36 saves and a 1.53 ERA. And coming back from that injury this year, he hasn't skipped a beat. He's been outstanding yet again.
Oh, motherfucker.
The ball's 2 strikes on Lindor. Lindor tonight 0 for 3, came back from his back injury yesterday. Got on base 3 times last night. Responded well enough playing shortstop to at least be in the lineup today, although he's DHing. Hits a little cue shot back to the mound. One away here in the ninth.
He will pitch backwards with that changeup, meaning when the situation in the count, you think he's going to throw a fastball, it's when he drops that changeup. And now this is a different scenario, 6-run lead. He doesn't have to pitch according to how he would in a 1 or 2-run save.
It's Jose Iglesias with a base hit today, extending his hitting streak to 19 games. Well, the news for the Mets doesn't get any better when they look across their division and see the Braves tonight. Atlanta has defeated Kansas City. It's 2-1 the final, and it's the former Met Travis d'Arnaud that hit a walk-off home run for the Braves.
Well, that place must be erupting right now. But either way, the Mets know what they have to do when it comes to Monday. If they're 1 game down, they have to win both.
Still one more game before that tomorrow that they'll need to win as well. 3 balls and a strike on Iglesias. Now the Diamondbacks will have the Mets' attention as well. They're still scoreless in the bottom of the 6th in Arizona. Mets' magic number is 3 over the Diamondbacks. So if Arizona loses tonight, there's still a possibility with a Mets win tomorrow and another Diamondbacks loss. They wouldn't even need to play Monday. That's somewhat unlikely scenario for Arizona to lose tonight and tomorrow with their season on the line.
Well, I thought it was interesting. You know, Chris Sale was scheduled to pitch against the Mets, and the first rain out, and he hasn't pitched since. So the Braves have held him back.
Oh no. We're looking to save Sale for an elimination scenario. And that may not come. In that case, they'll just let Sale pitch the wild card opener on Tuesday if they make it. Iglesias draws a walk here with 1 out in the 9th. Vientos steps in. Here's Ken Rosenthal.
Well, for the Braves, this is setting up exactly how they want it. They likely will pitch Charlie Morton tomorrow and would have Sale and Schwellenbach ready for Monday. Both guys, of course, have pitched well against the Mets this season. And for the Braves, yes, the way this sets up, they're going to be in good shape for the wild card series as well as Monday if this continues.
Also a scenario where the Braves can already have a spot and the Mets need to play a doubleheader to force their way in. The Braves still might get stuck with 2 games even if they have a spot wrapped up. Both teams could clinch Monday. I mean, who knows? There's still a lot on the table here. Williams let that one go by as the Brewers get the out at second base. Iglesias forced out as Vientos reaches first. It'll only be the 5th time the Mets have been held to 2 hits or fewer in a game. It also happened on opening day against the Brewers. Mets have had a really tough time winning in this ballpark. They have lost 19 of their last 22 here. With a ground ball to Hoskins, the Milwaukee Brewers pitch a 2-hit shutout. They beat up on the Mets tonight, 6-0 the final. And as the Brewers are in tip-top shape for the postseason, the Mets' climb gets a little bit harder. Two runs in the 4th, 4 in the 8th, and the Brewers pitching did the rest here tonight, John.
Well, they're setting up with no stress coming into this weekend to playing playoff baseball that they know they want to continue starting Tuesday. So they haven't rested a lot of people. They've had a plan. The Mets have had little room for error, and unfortunately tonight it showed up in their offense. And this series, quite frankly, is going to come down to the Mets must win tomorrow, and the Milwaukee Brewers are going to sit back and hope that there's chaos on Monday. They want that scenario to play out.
And the Mets certainly rooting for the Padres tonight as they remain scoreless in Arizona in the 7th. Brewers beat the Mets 6-0. We'll be back in just a moment here at American Family Field.
Eagles, Bucks, or Patriots, Niners. It all kicks off Sunday on Fox. Home of...
My husband and I are going through IVF treatments now. It could be our only chance to have a family. But Donald Trump's plan could ban IVF in some states. My husband is in the military. He volunteered to serve. We are patriots and we go where he is assigned. What if we end up in a state where IVF is no longer legal? What will we do then?
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Career politicians like Peter Barca will say anything to get elected. His latest negative ad against Brian Style, it's been called blatantly false. The truth, Style has always supported IVF. He co-sponsored a resolution supporting IVF. And Style backs legislation to help families afford IVF. Peter Barca can sling mud, but we deserve better than just another lying career politician.
I'm Brian Style, and I approve this message.
She worked her way up.
I had a summer job at McDonald's.
He was born there.
I'm very rich.
She fights for you.
When our middle class is strong, America is strong.
He doesn't.
When you're rich as hell, we're going to give you tax cuts.
She has a reason for running.
We are helping dig families out of debt by telling billionaires to pay their fair share.
And so does he.
They want to put me in jail.
Kamala Harris, for you. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Weather is always changing. That's why the Fox 6 weather experts are always ready
to bring you the most accurate forecasts.
Powered by technology you won't find anywhere else.
Keeping you safe anytime, any place.
Because you matter.
September pennant chase is the possibility to be in the postseason. It's that significant.
Through all of September, you feel like every game is a mini playoff game. You really feel like you're fighting for something.
You need to feel that adrenaline. You need to feel that emotion. But I'm going to tell you something. It ain't for the weak.
It's a gut check. Are you good enough to play in the postseason?
You have to win to get in.
The pennant race. It doesn't really matter how you get here. Just matters how we finish.
Baseball is a sport, pero la verdad es que para nosotros, el béisbol es otra cosa. El béisbol es otra cosa.
We're only as good as our training, our tools, and each other. Let's get out there.
Look at us. We're short lifeguards.
Try not to screw anything up, okay?
It's easier to break off an engagement than get a divorce, am I right? I had my chance, and I blew it.
I thought you said this job was easy.
Rescue High Surf, all new Monday at 9 after 911 Lone Star on Fox.
It's Fox College Football Friday. Michigan State.
Look at this!
Takes on Heisman contender Dylan Gabriel and Oregon.
Touchdown Ducks!
It all kicks off at 9 Eastern on Fox.
Tubi is proud to be free for the teachers illuminating the minds of our children. But it's also free for kids who skip class to throw rocks at windows. Because Tubi is free for everyone, and we mean everyone.
Know what's happening in college football right now? How could you? It changes every second. This player switched to this team. This team switched to this conference. This conference switched to this channel. But sometimes it's on streaming. But Big Noon. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know it's on the same time, on the same channel, on every TV in the country. College football's complicated. But Big Noon?
Hey, Hudge fan.
Did you miss the Masked Singer quarterback sneak? Fox Wednesday, it's Footloose night. Now I gotta
no dancing allowed here.
Then
things are getting gnarly.
the floor gets more strategic than ever.
I lied to.
Category is acronyms.
What you doing?
I don't know.
Non-sufficient.
The floor is all new after an all-new Masked Singer. Wednesday on Fox.
All Milwaukee tonight, 6-0 the final. The Brewers win a game, a 9-inning game, while striking out 18 times for the first time in franchise history. But they got some timely hits, and John, they certainly had the pitching to get it done today.
Yeah, they definitely did. They had every pitcher execute, really no mistakes to speak of. They struck out a bunch of New York Mets, and they kept them from really even establishing any kind of rally. And when you got the stuff that this bullpen has, man, this is why they're tough to play. They don't beat themselves. They play really good defense, and of course they cause havoc on the bases. The Brewers could not be more in line for what would be an improbable postseason run if they continue this kind of pitching, this kind of playing, and they're going to get a chance to start it at home.
They have won 93 games this year, and they beat the Mets tonight 6-0 here at American Family Field. Ken Rosenthal is standing by with one of the heroes for the Brewers tonight and all season long, Willie Adames.
Willie, Brewers clinched 10 days ago, and yet you guys have kept going, kept pushing toward the postseason. What has been your mindset during this time?
It's just, we have to continue to play hard because we got to, get the momentum to go to the postseason and, have the right mentality and not just get comfortable because we clinch. We have to continue to play hard and, continue to get that momentum and, hopefully we can carry that momentum to the postseason.
Your bullpen was brilliant tonight. I've seen worse, man.
Small showers.
Yeah. Your bullpen was brilliant tonight. This kind of game, can you see you guys winning in the postseason in this way, with your bullpen just plowing through?
Yeah, I mean, they've been like our weapon. They've been doing a tremendous job all year long, and, we need them the most now during this time, and hopefully they can show up and continue to help us to win games because we need it now in the postseason. It's the most important time, and I think they're going to come through.
Willie, a lot of people around the country maybe haven't seen the Brewers. What would you tell them about what makes this team so unique, so special?
Because that we are undoubted. We are undaunted, and we're going to continue to play hard every day, and, don't be surprised.
Willie, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Well, there you go. Don't be surprised if the Brewers do make that run.
I'm not surprised about anything anymore.
93rd win for Milwaukee tonight. They shut out the Mets 6-0. They've won the first 2 games of this series. And it was Joey Ortiz who gave the Brewers the lead tonight. He's standing by now with Ken.
Joey, your bases loaded hit that gave the Brewers a 2-0 lead. That was a difficult at bat. Take me through it and what you were thinking against Quintana as that evolved.
I was just trying to be competitive, get a good pitch to hit, fouling a lot of stuff off, just trying to stay to the center of the field. My mindset was God's will, not mine, so whatever happened was going to happen.
So you were saying that God's will, not yours. And what were you thinking at that point?
I mean, yeah, just compete, really. Whatever was going to happen was going to happen, and I trust in my Lord, and it came through for me.
You came over here in a big trade. Corbin Burns from the Orioles. When you joined the Brewers, what did you think? What kind of team did you think you were joining?
A gritty team for sure. And it was guys who like to play hard, and I was excited for the opportunity to come over here and potentially get a spot, and luckily I was able to, and just excited that we're going to be able to go to the postseason and keep competing.
What do you expect out of this team in the postseason?
I think we're going to do well. I mean, we play hard, we play the game the right way. It'll be exciting for sure.
Joey, thanks a lot. Yeah, congratulations.
Well, the Brewers will have their chance to show that you should believe in them after a great season. They are in the playoffs, and they'll start the wild card round on Tuesday night here at American Family Field. The Mets just hoping to get in as they lost to Milwaukee tonight 6-0. The Mets still have a chance tomorrow and on Monday. For John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, and our entire Fox crew, I'm Wayne Randazzo saying good night from Milwaukee, where the Brewers blanked the Mets 6-0 in American Family Field.